Welcome.
Hello.
It is episode 26 and essentially the beginning of season 3 on Pinnacles here, happyjacksrpg. You can find all previous episodes at happyjacks.org/pinnacles. And that has YouTube, podcast, like whatever. Like there's many ways you could listen and enjoy that. I, Jason, am called a game runner.
Game Boy.
A Game Boy.
Advanced.
That's what's yes, I am a Game Boy Advanced. And the my job is to sort of make things go forward. And that bit me in the ass last week. Because I made something go forward that I regret deeply.
Oh.
So anyway, what happened was
news to everybody.
I know, we're all like, what happened?
What are we doing?
Oh.
what happened is Kit professed their undying love for Sapna, and that happened. It did happen.
Oh, did they?
Did
It
they?
happened,
Interesting.
and that's how I remember it. And I feel like that's the important thing: is my personal experience with the death of the author is what's important here, and that I will interpret the text the way that is most meaningful to me. Pooja, say hello.
Why, hello. Coming to you from a river called Denial. I'm Pooja. I'm playing Sapna. Not the recipient of anyone's undying love declaration last time.
Unfortunate.
But I was the I was the generation of rubbing salt in that wound.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm playing Kit, the biokinetic surgeon with zappy fingers now. Now with 500% more zaps. And also definitely didn't profess anything last session. And I never planned on it, actually. Never.
Ever.
Lie.
We moved from down the river of Denial and into the land of gaslighting.
It's the Gaslight District.
Oh. Hi, my name's Eli, playing Hector, the Telepath. And I think he was the only one that didn't do drugs last episode.
Oh.
I didn't do drugs.
Only player character that didn't do drugs.
I'm Enge, and I play Chainsaw, who definitely did drugs.
Technically, since you're
Like
Dr.
a
Light,
brawler.
didn't you do drugs?
I guess I did. Yeah.
Oh, true.
So many times, actually.
Yeah, I didn't profess love.
Who's your character? What are you doing here?
I'm Chainsaw, like I
Yeah.
said.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a
Lost in
biker
my-
brawler, and really my my true superpower is all of my names.
Yeah. Gotta catch them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trapped in a glass box of denial. Okay, so speaking of what happened, well, you know what? Let's just say real quick, a content warning. This is a violent superhero story. This is not Young Justice. This is closer to The Boys, pulling up just before we get there. An important detail there. But it's certainly rated R superhero story. The safety tools are in place. We use Lines and Veils document. We use an X card that's available to us here. And we use what is called a grown-up conversation, TM. And
Capital G, capital C.
yeah, we talk about stuff because that's, that's not to diminish, like, the safety tools are important and it's great, but sometimes it's hard to talk about stuff, and having a pre-made, like, hey, I want to use this construct that we all agreed to. How do we feel about XYZ is so nice to have available. Honestly, it's great. Yeah, so what about a recap? Last week was the end of season 2.
Yeah,
Some stuff happened.
I guess.
Is there anything you want to go over?
don't know, Jason. I just feel like my heart isn't really in it today. Just kidding! It's time for a recap.
Yes!
We had a big boy conversation with each other separately about the ethics of being superheroes. And we all independently, without knowing it, came to the decision that maybe we should be a little more careful and not turn our exploits into a murder gallery. And then we met up together to talk to Dr. Light, and we were being super awkward because we didn't know that we had had these conversations with each other. But then we figured it out just in time for Dr. Light to say, remember that sweat thing that made people powerful but also wild? I made it out of not sweat. Congratulations, try it out.
I definitely made sure it was not made of sweat.
I made sure it was not sweat.
Yeah, it's synthetic sweat.
Exactly, which is completely different.
Yeah.
Sapna tried it out and found that they could create a beautiful ballet dance out of every mechanical piece in Dr. Light's laboratory. Super cool.
And then morphed into a Bollywood number because, of course, it did.
Of course it did. And then who was the next person? I can't remember if it was Dr. Light or Chainsaw that did it
was
next. But I
Chainsaw.
think it was Chainsaw. We went outside.
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Light went up into the air, and Chainsaw went to do it while Kit was like, maybe if your powers are up, then I can test my powers. But that didn't
Yes,
happen.
intention
because,
was to check Chainsaw's shield to see how strong it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then
Chainsaw
that
went
stability
into orbit.
roll,
Went
my
into the fucking
eyes grew
orbit.
as big as saucers, and I went pew!
Listen, sometimes you just got to get some
That was
perspective.
fun.
Very close to approaching light speed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In space. Perspective in space. And then finally he was able to come back down, hit a moment, of hitting the ground. And then was Kid asleep for the Dr. Light thing? What are the order of
Asleep?
operations here?
You
No.
No.
So Dr. Light went to test the not sledge on
No,
herself.
I think you tested first.
I
'cause-
tested first? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kit said, let me try my new powers, and switched over to them, and then realized that their other powers don't work when they're using these powers. At least at that point. They
that's
figured
right.
it out now. It's fine. And then they got very sleepy. Very honk shoo me me me, and they went to bed. They went to bed, and that's it. Except that Sapna and Heather had a really great conversation. And they decided to team up together and
have a
tell
sleep intervention.
that they have to sleep
Together.
together. Now, from my understanding, there has been a bit of a time jump coming into season 3,
We'll get there.
correct?
Yeah. We'll get there.
If they had that conversation, anyway. But then Dr. Light said, "I want to take the sludge," and became Dr. Light's plural forever, possibly. And she started talking in tandem with herself without realizing that she was doing it. And had this big, moment. And now she's like, everything was so easy. I can't believe I thought it was hard, which is fine.
Right. It's already a super genius.
Yeah, she was already a super genius.
This will, no problems will come out of this.
Oh
It'll
my
be all
God.
good all the time.
She's like, y'all, I found the end of pi.
I
It
figured
does
it
end.
out.
The limit does exist.
Yeah.
So then we had our sludge just in time for Scintillation to go, I found Brian.
Oh, this is a good moment to remind us all that we named it Nudge.
Nudge.
Nudge,
Yes, it is
yes.
nudge, not sludge.
Yeah.
Not
Not
sweat,
sludge.
therefore Nudge.
Yes.
Derived from sludge, no more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. We saw that Brian was heading towards a black hole, and then we all realized that it was because he thought there was another Brian inside that black hole that he was going to take the powers of. Specifically, Black Hole Brian.
Black hole Brian.
That would be a very bad thing if he got in there.
Brian.
Whoa,
So
shit, good.
we headed over with a ship from Scintillation towards the black hole. We had a game plan this time when we were going into it so that we would not unalive Brian, as the TikTokers love to say. And we all headed towards the black hole. We did not get sucked into it. Go us.
Hey.
Successfully
Team not sucked into a black hole.
fought, turned down his powers, and got him into the ship with the help of our nudge. And a little help from Bill and Eli's character, Hector, as well. I did it. I just did the thing where you call someone the other name. But
It was Bill and Eli working together.
Bill and Eli were working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beelie.
Yeah.
Eli.
No, I hate that.
It'll be Heli anyway. I like that better.
Oh, yeah. That's good. We got him into the ship.
We
And
did.
then when we were traveling back, he was not in the ship. And we found out that not scintillation, interstitial was like, that boy's mine now. He's mine forever.
He was like Monica.
It's like,
He was.
yoink.
Yoink.
I
Good joke,
take this.
everybody.
Monica from Friends?
I get such tunnel vision when I'm doing it that people are commenting. I'm like, yeah, of course. Back to the thing. And then we said, good job, gang. And that's where we ended.
Oh, and we know where H. Brian is.
We do, because Sapna had like a moment of jolting into the other dimension and seeing through Brian's eyes, working at a sandwich shop. It's very sweet.
And I asked Greenstreak to go get him. And when we came back, he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, it turned out Green Streak got there and kind of observed without letting Brian know that he was there for a little bit. It was trying to see, like, is he super happy? Like,
Captain America hat.
yeah. He put on a hat and glasses and
Nice. No one-
without lenses in it, just frames.
Oh, no.
It
Rude.
was unrecognizable to H. Brian, which does stand
That-
out.
that
Actually,
tracks.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's about right.
Brian canonically cannot recognize green streaks.
Right. Like it thinks Green Streak impersonator arrived.
Yes.
Yeah. Determined that H. Brian is perfectly happy in that reality. Also, shall we barrel ahead? Is that where
I'm
we are?
good.
Okay.
Put me in the barrel.
So some just like the dwarves in Long Way Home. Nope.
No way.
The Hobbit.
Oh.
Moria.
The Hobbit movie that everybody loved.
Yes.
Unexpected journey.
There
Yeah,
used
very
to be.
unexpected.
There used to be. I don't know if it still exists, but there used to be a supercut of the 3 Hobbit movies that made it one movie.
Yeah, that would have been enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we needed. Okay, so the couple things about our setting. We originally thought there were maybe 8 to 10 alternate universes that were really worth paying attention to. Really, there is a myriad, particularly with Dr. Light's ability to kind of understand and assess the situation a little bit better. It is not going to be helpful to refer to them by their color anymore. There are just many universes. So that's just worth putting out there. I'm not necessarily going to hold to the color list that we had going originally. It was helpful for the time, but our understanding has grown beyond that. So just for a little bit of reference there. Dr. Light, also to clarify that a little bit, while had a little bit of a bumpy transition into being an omniscient being, is still
As one does.
multiple independent
Like you do.
people, right? Like they are all individuals. We're all individuals.
Yes. That is
Um,
why they are the doctor's light.
Yeah. And they have their independent
Scintillation.
personalities and thoughts and whatever. They just also have this separate brainwave connection in which they can think and work on stuff in parallel and sort of have this shared computing space.
Multiprocessor.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And if one of them is less busy, then they're going into the processor cycles, and it's just they can like directly think that way. But yeah, so that's a little something to understand there. Now I'm planning on skipping us ahead about 3 months or so.
Hell yeah.
Anything you want to make sure we cover in this, or shall I just jump in and you'll interrupt me if we need to cover something?
The only thing is, did we end up going to check on interstitial? Is that something that we?
Yes,
did?
that'll be a big part of what's about to happen.
Okay, so we're about to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Okay, so feel free to ask questions or whatever.
I mean, the big question, I guess, is
Yeah,
has Kit been sleeping at least once a week?
whether
I was
they
gonna be like,
need it
yes,
or not.
I can say that. I will say that Kit did not react badly when you asked them to sleep, but they also very calmly said, "No, thank you." But it's not. It's fine. They have reasons.
It is obviously not fine.
Should we cover this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I guess you bring this conversation to Kit, they take it in, they listen to you, they hear you, and then they just very calmly and well-adjustedly say, I totally understand, but it's not really something that I'm interested in doing. And I know that it was kind of like a freak thing that happened when I was getting used to my powers, but I'm back on it again, and I'll be okay.
And there's definitely no plausible scenario in which you would also not have access to your powers that wouldn't ever happen, because that totally can't happen in any universe at any time, and that's definitely not something that ever happens to anyone.
Okay. Yeah. Point taken.
I'm not asking for we're asking for at least once a week, so that if something does happen, you don't immediately go into a sleep deprivation hallucination.
Yeah.
Auditory and physical?
I just maybe I can do it once a week. Definitely I can swing once every 2.
Once
It's
every 2
just-
is what got you.
I could get that fast.
No, Heather and I compared notes.
Fuck.
They had a lot of conversations.
We had a lot of time
I mean,
to have conversations in the 20 hours that you had to pass out in order to catch up on your sleep debt.
and in all that time she didn't mention. Okay. So when I became a 9, one of the things that happened is that all of this is kind of like I'm working on keeping it here. And I'm not really as good at that when I sleep. And she says she's cool with it, but I don't really want to risk hurting my partner by blowing out an arm or doing something crazy in my sleep.
So, wild idea. Maybe we work on that part instead of just shoving it down and pretending it doesn't exist.
I mean, I have been. But I also just genuinely enjoy. I'll try once a week. I also just genuinely enjoy being able to pull the night shift. I mean, otherwise I would not be able to work.
Yeah, but you don't have to work 7 days a week. That's also not healthy.
Yeah. I'll try.
Thank you. We care about you, that's why.
Okay.
Checks the Heather conversation tree notes.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I've made all these points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it's like a shared doc with Heather as
Yeah.
well, and she's seeing the just like, okay, awesome. Talk to them later too.
She put in little boxes with conditional formatting, so when
Sure.
we hit one, I could just surreptitiously hit a check
Right.
mark.
And then
Definitely,
it might have-
definitely sent a text to Heather that was like, I don't like that you've been conniving. What's the word? Conspiring. It's like partial joke, but also they're like, what the fuck? It's
We
great.
weren't conspiring. But it was this or a formal intervention with everyone, so...
Oh no, they texted that to
I know.
Heather. Yeah.
But also...
Fair.
Oh, yeah, you can't really. There aren't
Nothing
really
is safe.
private texts like right
Not this
next
close.
to.
Not this close.
Yeah, that's an always-on power that like they would have to like put a lot of effort into not listening to. Like you might as well have shouted it to Heather.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, so in some of our upkeep news, we have fixed armor and damage, so you don't have to hear us hemming and hawing about that over and over. Just put that to the side for a moment. Just checking my notes here. Oh, right. You don't want to know. My notes didn't make sense. Now they do.
I've never had that happen once.
Yeah, it's better not to. Okay, so in the few months that you've been back, it has become clear that, well, one of the scenes that happens is that the interstitial wants to meet with all of you again. And this is quite early on. Meets with you and Dr. Light, and Green Streak. Oh, actually, all right. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I want to retcon that Green Streak went to see Brian. Because so far I think he has not traveled interdimensionally.
Oh.
And I think it's something that's like really like an upsetting idea to him to do that. And so maybe he like pulled up a window that looked into, you know, this other universe and checked in on Brian. And that's why he didn't go speak to him and Brian didn't see him.
It's a Dr. Light with a video camera.
Just we have the ability to look, you know, that like our interaction with alternate dimensions is a lot smoother now. And so part of the thing is Green Streak has never been to the interstitial, has never traveled interdimensionally, and kind of really doesn't want to. Okay. And so is totally happy to hold down the fort at the lodge. All of you basically have surpassed him as superheroes.
Damn.
And
He
like,
seemed so cool when we met him.
as any good, not that he was your mentor, but hopefully leadership figure, he is happy that you have moved past what he could provide.
And if he doesn't stay at the lodge, who is going to mind the children?
Right.
True.
That is his goal, is to pursue this camp idea, right? Of training people, kids and young adults to improve their powers without, you know, having to have external whatever. What we have is, I mentioned we have a better understanding of how all this works, and I think it's helpful to have the whole kind of analogy here is that there is this kind of this raw energy that just flows from interstitial into alternate dimensions. And it's kind of like having blood pressure in your body. Like you have to have some. Too much or too little would be bad, right? If blood gets cut off to part of your body, that's not great. If there's too much, not good. There's all kinds of good analogy with that. But that energy from it's not the interstitial giving you that. It's just like radiates from that space between worlds, is untyped, right? It doesn't have fire or ice or teleport or whatever. And your ability to receive it is based on that gland at the back of your neck, that spinal column, spinal cord thing. And then it is filtered through what is essentially your personality. And that's where different superpowers come from. And so this is something that Dr. Light's able to explain. And then you're able to later look at her notes and actually understand what she was talking about.
You know, with the four of us trying to read them and being like, I think that's what that means.
Yeah. I mean, she takes notes like with both hands at the same time. And there's a lot that gets like filled in later. And I think...
Well, there's that one Dr. Light who knows how to talk to people.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple, I think. Actually, the scintillation was one of the best with people.
Indigo Montoya wasn't bad?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indigo. Particularly proud of that. So those are some things to be aware of. The fact that it is, that you can get different types if you are around one of your alternates who dies when they die is a component of that. We may learn some more about that, but that's what we know in this 3 months of the Dr. Light Gestalt, gaining some insight, and the interstitial doing their best to try to explain. So between the two of them, not the greatest communicators, and then Scintillation translating, we cover a lot of ground.
Hell yeah.
So also, if you ever have questions at on that level, we can just backfill it in that
Assume that it
we
was
asked about
explained,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's important to understand. And what the short version of what happens is the interstitial is really impressed that you all decided that we weren't gonna kill this guy, right? And while he has Ebrian essentially trapped in the interstitial, Ebrian is not locked in a cell. He just can't leave the interstitial,
Yoink.
and is just kind of around, and he's just this guy. So,
Maybe he'll get some perspective as a non-powered person. I don't think he'll ever be good, but
right,
maybe he'll kind of become quirky.
yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll take not evil. as
Yeah.
a-
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's in kind of a strange place. He should probably we should probably bring in a therapist, someone for him to talk to.
So you wanted to take over the entire world.
Right.
Let's get to the
all
root
the
of
universes.
that.
Not
The
just the
universes.
world.
Destroy them, maybe?
But yeah.
What are we going to
Let's
do
talk
with that,
about your
huh,
mother.
buddy?
Let's introduce interstitial to therapy.
Not interstitial. Interstitial doesn't need therapy, and also I think it would break the therapist.
No, I mean so that we can get a therapist
Oh
in there.
yes, yeah. Okay, so there's that component. The other thing, however, is when a lot of this explanation happens in your home universe, with Green Streak's there to be part of the conversation and do all that. But at some point, the conversation needs to move to have conversation with interstitial in the interstitial, which is not confusing at all.
No.
So when you travel there, you find yourself again in that sort of white loading screen of a room, and Dr. Light comes along. 4 of you are there. Ebrian is sort of there in the sense that he's miles away, but you're aware of his presence, and it's complicated, and he's painting or something. I don't know. He's doing therapy.
Horse therapy.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's petting a horse.
Yeah. Maybe it's going to work. We don't know.
Yeah.
But what happens is the interstitial explains. All right. This man, indicating Ebrian, has done a lot of harm to me and the worlds that I support. So what would be helpful is if we could repair the damage that has been done to these worlds. I can't leave this place, and there's very little I can do about the damage from here. But I think if we were to give you some room to work here, you would be able to have access to the things you need. Your method of traversing realities is much less upsetting than what he was doing. You saw a few of his uses. He has done this hundreds of times, and there are a lot of places that need help. And also, you should know that for people who haven't been to another universe, it can be the 5 of you, including Dr. Light. The 5 of you are incredibly lucky because there is a chance that visiting another universe could just demolish your atomic presence.
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm.
for people who haven't traveled, there's some risk involved, and they probably should. It's better not to, ultimately.
So why are we still at risk of
You've
atomic
been
destruction or
inoculated, cushioned.
I will add that word in
Reinforced.
my medical textbooks.
Mm.
No.
Reinforced.
Vax inocula cushioned.
You have so many words and they're all wrong.
Love to
So,
learn new ones.
so no
Know what?
chance of atomic destruction.
Well, I mean, there's never no chance of atomic deconstruction. I mean, he like thinks they think that's a pretty funny idea. That there's no chance of.
Kit does give like a polite little smile at that because they are like, yeah, I guess. You never know. I've seen those. They're squishy.
Well, I mean, I guess we kept. It's no different than what we were doing before. How did we get Vax inocula cushioned?
Oh, by going there and not exploding.
So every time we do it, the chance gets smaller.
Sort of.
It helps that you like us.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't seem to hurt that Ebrian, that
Yeah, I was
they hated
thinking that
Ebrian.
too.
Yeah.
Until Ebrian had no powers.
You mean it helps emotionally?
Sure.
Okay.
It makes me feel better. I don't know about anyone
Yeah.
else.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is, I guess.
Okay.
You're cool.
Like you could
Trying
see
out a
the
new
like
thing with Kit this season.
the silent like regarding temperature, like the.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't want to have this totally like disconnected from idiom, like
Sure,
whatever,
sure.
but like
They understand every idiom and no idiom all at the same time, which
Right.
has to be.
because it's just confusing to get like which
Mhm.
use of this is
Yeah.
there throughout all of reality.
Mhm.
So it's complicated.
Well, okay then. I definitely felt better before I knew that. But
Well, you're less likely to explode now than you ever were.
There's always risks, I guess, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, before we could have ended up anywhere. We could have ended up in the Earth's core for all the accuracy that they had.
Yeah, it's nice that that's not as much of a risk anymore. And
Mhm.
we were still really going for it when that was a risk, so.
Yeah.
It always seemed like such an emergency.
Yeah.
Or not on purpose.
You mentioned something about repairing.
Yes. Many of the places that Brian visited were damaged by the use of his powers, damaged at a existential level, which is hard to explain. But if you go there, you should be able to fix it.
Okay.
And how would we go about.
Oh, I don't know.
Cool.
But the existence is wrong, and you travel right.
Okay.
So probably just by visiting
Wow.
and doing something.
So do we have to find where he punched through?
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yes.
Is that. Oh, no.
Hmm?
I mean, would it help to ask him then? Do you think he'd even tell us?
Maybe
I
the
mean, I
therapist can ask as
get it
part of
from him.
reparations.
I mean, I could just get it from him.
Oh. I keep forgetting that he's just a normal dude now.
I will remind you still, though, that using your powers here on purpose can be problematic.
Right.
I don't have any control over that any more than you, and then specifically looks away from Kit, any more than you all have control over your blood pressure.
Aw.
I guess we try the therapist first.
Yeah.
I know what worlds he visited,
Yeah.
and I can put you close to where he would have emerged.
Okay.
Oh, well,
That
that's
feels
easy.
better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely better.
Yeah, that works for me.
I mean, where is a complicated word, but
And
it-
I'm
it's
assuming
probably
he
close.
caused some havoc, so people might know.
I think so.
Hector turns to Dr. Light and says, "Do you have like a device, like in Ghostbusters, where they could sense where the ghosts were? That maybe we could figure out where
We did used to have that.
Ryan punched through something?"
Well, we had the devices that would track the cosmic radiation and the differences between certain worlds. That may mean that if you arrive close to where you're supposed to be, you might be able to find trace amounts of cosmic presence that might lead you to backtrack to wherever it was. I assume he has an entrance and an exit, and that those
Right.
need to both be repaired in some way. And she looks at Interstitial, and Interstitial is just like completely turned around, looking into white space, like not sure what they're up to
They've
right
got
now.
the Apple Vision.
Yeah.
Why are you barking at the wall?
And so Dr. Light just turns back like, I mean, it's as good a theory as any.
Sure. Didn't Brian take that with him? Do we need a replacement?
Oh, yeah, just give me a minute.
Maybe one that doesn't project it for the whole world to see what else it does.
Mm.
Because, Brian's, lit it up like a Christmas tree.
Maybe it comes with goggles that let you overlay over.
I mean, we could all use
It's
a
been
HUD.
dominating my social media.
We
What
could all
has-
use a HUD.
What-
There's these new goggles that Apple came out with that puts your phone over the world, and it's stupid.
Oh, like what
very
Google Glass
stupid.
was trying
yes,
to do?
but
Uh-huh.
it's bigger. It's like a
Bigger and
whole,
dumber.
Like
it
VR
looks like
goggles?
a ski mask or
They're more
VR
like AR
goggles.
than
Oh,
VR.
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you can still see the
It's not
world
ready.
around you, and it's
We're
just
not ready.
superimposed. People just, someone was driving a Tesla while using them because the Teslas are a little self-driving, and then they got put. It's a whole thing. It's stupid. It's
No,
dumb.
I don't care
If
for it.
Google Glass
No.
taught us anything,
Don't like it.
it's that that's a bad idea.
Until
yeah.
you can make them look like this, it's
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's
Or like contacts.
yeah. I'm holding my glasses for the listeners.
Mhm.
I still feel like even if I have a hard enough time walking down the street in general. If you put here's your photos on there, I'm gonna run into
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not-
need that.
I don't want photos, but honestly, if I could get video game HUD, of battery level and little indicators that I could pull into my field of view,
you're gonna want to sleep in 3 hours.
I would
Scary.
try it. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing to get something that's oh, look, your heart rate is
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
that'd be helpful.
Any of
outside
that
your
kind of
normal
stuff,
bounds.
look.
Maybe, oh, your blood pressure just spiked. Maybe check that out.
Yeah, I could
Where can I
see-
eat nearby?
Yeah, I think there's a world where there's a utility to
Yes,
this.
yes.
Anyway, moving on.
And that world is the interstitial.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to the issue of technology and tracking and all that stuff.
Oh.
What so big picture wise, that zooming out from the conversation a little bit, the interstitial has invited you all to build an office space essentially, or whatever.
Hell yeah.
They kind of demonstrate how to think about what you want. You all made chairs when you got here, right? You can't really make moving parts. You wouldn't be able to make a Swiss watch, right? But you could make all the pieces of a Swiss watch, and then if you know how to put them together, that's great.
It's all IKEA.
Sure.
How frustrating.
It's IKEA all the way down. And there is some... Okay, do we have any questions at this point? Then we can montage our way into the 3 months that I wanted to do.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think the only thing that we'll figure this out when we get there is that, like, where do we want to go first? Which,
I feel like flying by the seat of our pants is
Hell
what
yeah.
we do.
Mhm.
It is kind of our shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my only question is like, oh, we have to go to these worlds and like fit in?
Yes. So to answer that question, that's great. I thank you for reminding me. There's a component of this where you've been visiting other worlds that were so like your own that you didn't really need to do anything to adapt. But if you are visiting one that maybe like you never existed in, or nobody you knew ever existed in, like it's that different, that world has kind of a vibe check. And through interstitials, like struggling explanations, you get the sense that if you allow yourself to like fit the vibe of the world, it will change how you interact with it a little bit, but you will also be able to interact with it and not be ejected or doing harm the way that Brian was, showing up places with like, out of time technology or just wild things that Brian was doing to upset that reality. If you're aware of this, if you're thoughtful about it, and if you're willing to vibe, you can you can be part of that world.
Yay.
So I was really trying hard not to do
all
it.
I'm hearing is fashion show, and I'm
Yes.
so down.
Yes.
I've been imagining like the Matrix
Yes.
coat rack coming in
Yes.
with all the different costumes
Well-
and everything and being like,
Oh no, it's the ballroom universe where everyone's having balls all the time.
Well,
whatever shall I wear?
to that issue, we will montage a little bit.
Hooray.
We have a number of things where we're creating stuff in the space, and there's all kinds of stuff. It's a big open workspace. It's all on one floor. It's all just one big flat white space. But we're starting to add things. Like if you pull up a wall, you could still like put your hang in there poster up on the wall and have some color in the space, right? Like you could bring it with you to the interstitial. So it is this odd mix of like everything that's made out of this opalescent white material is from the interstitial.
Yes.
And then people have brought in other stuff. Like rather than try to make a laptop out of which you technically could, right? If you know how to put all of the individual pieces together, including the like diodes and silicon parts and all that, like what if we just bring one from home?
I do have one question for the course of and I can't believe I didn't think of this. How is the relationship with Chainsaw and Gupta progressing in that 3 months?
Yes.
Let's make a stability
Oh
check.
God! Not a roll.
Oh no.
I like it.
You can always use willpower.
Yes, please.
I mean, relationships aren't easy.
Mm-mm.
And you have to put
Listen.
some willpower
Yeah.
into fixing
Right.
them and maintaining them.
Mm-hmm.
We just will not recover any willpower that is spent during the montage
Yes, so fair.
before
So
the
fair.
first encounters.
That's fair. But we all have like plenty now, right? Right.
Yeah, we'll never die.
How will you
We'll
run
be
out?
fine.
You could never run out.
All right.
In game terms, by the way, the interstitial basically is made of willpower.
I
that's
love them.
Nice. Pair 2 is not doing.
Okay, well that is a match.
yeah,
Mhm.
it is technically a success, but I like
Maybe you're
scaling
kind
it.
of like coasting,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I think there's.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how's your relationship going? A 2.
That's real bad.
I mean, you're not broken up.
Yeah,
Yet.
I think it would be
but should you be?
because it's a success. I would rate like 2s as like a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know,
So, what if
like,
you got a pair of 6s?
then that would be better.
Okay.
But
I think
It'd be like a
It's like a
6.5.
bell curve at that
If you
point.
didn't have any matches, but you got a 10, it's like, I'd have a 10 here. So I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, so I think it's like we're enjoying each other's company, but we're not really intertwined in our
Sure.
lives as much as it's like, hey, I haven't seen you, like I haven't heard from you this week. You want to catch up over dinner? Things like that. And it's
Well, should we establish maybe that it's not exclusive? Is that because you're traveling so much, or do you want it to be exclusive? Gupta wants to be exclusive, but you're not there that much. Like that could be a source of reasonable tension, I think.
Yeah,
I like that drama.
I do too. And since you like it, I'm in.
So how would you color that in exactly then?
I would say we've had that conversation about like, I think he basically said to me, look, you're gone a lot. And it's lonely. And I'd like to continue to see you, but I'm, not, you're not going to be the only person.
I'm so sorry. I just remembered something that is very poignant to that I was planning on doing that we could just undo if we don't like it. But when you all visited the black hole, I was planning on having you all come back, and it was a year later.
Whoa.
Which causes a lot of problems with significant others, with daughters, family, etc. If that's not fun because we haven't talked about it yet, even in our offline conversations, I think I forgot to bring it up.
I like it.
Pain for everyone.
I
I
like
lost
it.
my apartment.
I want to get that out of the way for sure.
Oh, thank goodness I was living with Heather at the time.
Did Heather burn all your shit?
Well, here's the
Well,
thing.
Heather did know that I was going.
Heather knows where you are, right?
Yeah,
Like there
that's
is,
true.
like Dr. Light knows. They all know you're visiting this black hole and something is happening.
Yeah.
Did I
Right?
miss Amit's wedding?
Yes, you did. Ahmed got married in the spring.
Emotional damage.
It's all right. It's role
Is
playing is all about
still
sadness and
married?
gay stuff. So
That would be epic if you missed the wedding and the divorce.
Wow.
Yes.
Because we knew where Ahmed
100%.
was going. Like
that
That was always gonna happen.
yeah, like but you had to get married to have your first divorce. Like
Yeah.
that's like
It adds character depth.
that's right.
It's
Starter
all
marriage.
part of his lore.
yeah. Yeah.
My favorite NPC. Or I guess my favorite like guest star NPC.
Yes. You should refresh the audience to who.
Oh yeah, so in Sapna's building, there lived a guy who was the source of not most, but like a good 45% of the snooping and eavesdropping on relationship drama, who also worked for like emergency response services.
Yeah, you don't need soap operas when you can just listen to your neighbors.
Yeah, and his relationship travails were mighty entertaining. But then last I checked in on him, it was actually gonna happen.
Yep.
There was a proposal, a real one, not one that he thought was gonna happen. It was actually that other person being like,
Right.
I need some space.
Yeah. In the early phase, for those maybe who weren't there at the beginning, there were scenes like Ahmed actually talking to Sapna about like, oh yeah, he's gonna propose. I
It's
can
the
tell.
one.
We're going to dinner Saturday night, and I know like that's what's happening. Like we've been dating for 6 weeks, and this is what's gonna happen. We're like,
Sepna's like, I've been listening to his conversations when you're not there.
yeah, that's not what's
And that's
happening.
not
He
what's
just
happening.
wants to go out to dinner.
And I would bring bagels to Sapna, and we would both tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that has to be how that plays out. Is it? But that marriage lasted about 10 months, and then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
It turns out if you get married just because you want to get married, that's not really a super healthy way
It's
to
hard.
live
Yeah.
your relationship. So
Awesome. Yeah, I love the
Sometimes-
year split. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that and realize, like, come out the other side and be like, oh, life is more than just that.
Yep.
So
So real.
growth.
definitely learn that right away when it happens too.
Yeah, I was married for about 10 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it was 11 months and the remainder. but-
Yeah. I had about a year and a half, like right when I got out of college.
Mm.
It was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Bad choice I made.
It happens.
Yeah. Oh well.
Stand behind mom.
I watched my brother do it, and that
Yeah.
was helpful for me.
Yeah.
Younger sibling vibes.
Oh no. Well, anyway, so we're gonna skip ahead. That you got back a year after you left. Heather certainly knew where you were the whole time, and I think was holding out because like she knew where you were. Like we could watch. You were all like moving in super slow mo.
Right.
Of like, what's happening? Well, they moved 3 feet. Like,
TV show.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Worst
Last
TV
week
show.
on.
Last week on, you were there. Now you're there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if Heather held out, I will say, I think that weirdly this strengthened the relationship a little bit because Kit came back and was like, wow, okay, you're very committed to this. I've been gone for a year. I can do
or like
this.
45 minutes.
Yeah. Now that's not keeping anything out of the loop, but that is what happened there.
Okay.
Realm of possibility, I guess, is the word.
All right.
Yeah.
So where do you want to have that leave you and Gupta?
Hmm.
Because I don't know that he would have held out.
I mean, I know I was texted him and like, "Hey, go into a black hole. I'll be back."
Sure.
Hopefully.
I don't like. I think
Weirdest
he'd be.
text next to get though is like, "Hey, got out of black hole a year later." And you're
Hey,
like,
out of black hole. What are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
You up?
Yeah. And I think it's probably the situation of like, I don't think he's unwilling to see you again, but I don't know
I
that
think
he
it's
was.
more. I think Gupta has moved on,
Okay.
and it's more like, yeah, I'm sorry you were gone for a year.
Yeah.
Because a year in like gay time is
it's
a
pretty long.
lifetime. Yeah.
And it was a brand new relationship.
Yeah.
You guys have been together for like a couple months or something,
Mhm.
maybe,
Yeah,
if that. So
just a little bit.
okay.
You,
Makes sense.
if it was going to go anywhere, you would have moved in together by now.
Yeah.
Um,
Just lesbians.
No.
No, not just.
Well, technically, Alex and I were moved in together before we started dating, so.
Classic.
Gay time.
The story as old as
Gay
time.
time.
Hector, for you and your daughter, she's still your daughter.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, thank God.
Is that how that works?
but it's now I forget now she's 21 years old. Like I don't know.
20 close?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh,
what.
Yeah, I
you missed
think
the
she was
21st
19.
birthday?
No.
I think she was 19.
Yeah. So
She's- okay, so now she's 20.
yeah.
Married, kids. You know, the
Sure.
whole like.
What?
So fast.
Multiple
401
kids.
Yeah.
Grow up
401k.
so fast.
Or 1K, you know.
Yeah,
I guess twins.
Fostering to adoption.
no, that's not what's happening. But I also think there's a version of that where Green Street could have kept her in the loop and said, "Hey, look, your dad's at this black hole. You can watch this video
Mm-hmm.
of them in real time," and it sucks because it's so slow.
Oh, horrible for Green Streak.
Yeah. Oh God. I
Infinity
didn't even
worse
think
for
about
Green
that.
Street.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even think.
So,
about it.
do
I
you-
would think after like 8 to 10 hours, probably somebody like Green Streak would have reached out to her.
Yeah.
Because he did kind of leave that vague ass
Okay.
message to her.
Yeah. So you like the idea of her kind of being in the loop and
Mhm.
actually being aware of what's going on there.
Right.
How do you want her to be involved in like the lodge and like stuff that's going on there?
Camp counselor.
Big sister program.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally doable. Because
I-
also she wants, like, if Heather is hanging out around the lodge,
That is gonna. Did that conversation happen sometime in that year?
I think probably what happened was, what's Navi Nicholas' name?
Rosalinda.
Rosalinda. I imagine at some point Rosalinda went like, "Am I like you're into
What
me,
are we
right?
doing here?"
Yeah. Should we just go out? Like what?" And Heather's like, "Wait, what?" I assume.
God love her.
You tell me.
I mean, I leave what Rosalinda did up to Rosalinda. That seems. I mean, Heather and Kit are two of the most oblivious people in the world, so that seems right.
Yeah, okay. I kind of like that narrative personally.
But I think that if Rosalinda was working at the lodge, Kit and Heather probably would have came up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might have just been an off-topic mention of Heather being like, "Yeah, you know, my partner's stuck in the black hole right now," and Rosalinda's like, "Oh."
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that better
Completely
than like
described
an
the situation.
explicit like.
Because that's how it happens in life, you know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
Yeah.
it.
Your partner, so you're exclusive or
Well,
And then it is. It's like over the course of the next 2 weeks. It's like, so how long have y'all been together?
yeah.
Mhm.
All those little like
Yeah.
just
Information.
normal conversational beats that
totally just,
Yeah.
making small talk.
asking for a friend. The friend is me.
Good.
Yeah, so go ahead. I think against not necessarily Hector's wishes, but Hector wants her to be at school more
Oh,
than
yeah.
and doing her thing rather than being at the lodge. So that's just his take on it, but whatever she would want to do, she'd want to be at the lodge.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Rosalinda's big enough at this point where, like, Rose would want to take her on as a client. Like, she can be a professional superhero at this point. Like, she doesn't really need to finish university. So it's always tough when you're faced with, like, a pro sports career or, like, finish school. Like, the career is right there.
Always go back to school.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of where I would want to have her be, like, she's at the lodge full time, like, doing summer camp kind of stuff. Like, you all missed the first real summer camp, like lodge summer
They
camp.
put us on all the promotional marketing.
Yeah, and all the campers were like, "Where are
We
these
were on the big
heroes?"
screen,
Like,
though.
yeah. In slow motion.
Or maybe they made like the shitty hologram versions of us.
Sure,
Like,
AI,
yeah.
like AI Sapna, just
Amazing.
cussing people out.
AI Sapna is just constantly like, whenever you see AI Sapna, and it sees you, it turns around and walks away.
Just disappointed.
Oh my god.
So my question is since Rosalinda had kind of a resentment against you for being an absentee father, how does she feel about you now that you've been gone for a year? Despite knowing what's going on, how does she feel about that?
But also being able to know where you are.
Yeah.
And, like,
I think that she would be annoyed that his original text message was so just like vague.
yeah.
Right? Like, but yeah, so I think that she would still be miffed about it, but like not like before.
Yeah.
Where it was like, dude, like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Because she's actually, like, involved with the organization
Right.
that you're working with and can see where you are. And,
Yeah.
On
And
the
I,
big
she
screen.
would also be able to relate to him trying to protect her,
Mhm.
where before it was just like a stone wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so mature.
And I
She's
think,
all grown up now. She's 20 years old.
thinking about it now, I think Chainsaw, the reason he kind of let things die with Rose was because he wanted something a little more connecting. And
Yeah.
if Gupta's not there to connect, totally understandable. It's been a year, but that's that.
But for you, it was, hours,
Mhm. Yeah, and I certainly wouldn't hold anything against him, but I'm looking for something more one-on-one.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
that
Good
makes
shit.
sense. I mean, there's still that overseer.
That's you.
It's still Austin, Texas,
And
or whatever
that-
the heck her name was.
Oh, yeah.
certainly crosses my mind.
Yeah.
Could give that a shot.
Yeah, there's
I
Austin.
mean, that's a
there's
really,
Wichita.
like, that's a really,
there's-
really, like, I want to see it now. You need to get together with Austin so we can roleplay the,
Her dying.
I'm what of your dead girlfriend? Conversation.
Done.
Okay. So the we will also have some availability of nudge. Nudge is hard to make. We don't have much of it, and there isn't still not a guarantee of exactly how it's going to work. I'm still like playing with the numbers a little bit of how I want to work it into the game, but it should be thought of as dangerous, experimental, very powerful, and hard to make. So, just throwing that out there.
Unpredictable.
Yes, yes. So we'll add that. The montage that we finally get to is that we are building this workspace in the interstitial. That is, Dr. Light is essentially trying to recreate her labs and, have a lot of that workspace there because it's even easier for her to sort of co-work with her alternates.
And does her power not turn off as much in the interstitial?
No, it's kind of amplified
Interesting.
in a weird way.
That's
Yeah, because it's a lot of it is it's a little bit how like how I want telepathy to be thought of, and the technological component of that earpiece that we're using. That there is this sort of brainwave wavelength that is basically what the interstitial is putting out into all of the worlds that are attached to it, and it is from Dr. Light's point of view. You know what? Actually, I think I might rethink that because I like the idea of it being so wild to use powers in the interstitial. That I think it's kind of a fun restriction that for Dr. Light to really be effective, she needs to be in her original world and using her lab and her space there. So that means that the base, like the space that you're building in the interstitial is for you specifically. So it's really whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
One of the things that Dr. Light is able to work on, she was experimenting with trying to bring interstitial material out of the interstitial, right? And she succeeded. And working with it further, she was able to design or upgrade her design for the body armor that she made for each of you. And if you have protection that's better than that, we don't have to think of it as body armor, but she basically was able to make something for each of you to wear. And most of the time it looks like if you don't put any thought into it, it looks like it's like a coloring book armor that, you know, like you could see some of the like black line edges, but it's this just plain sort of white material. And in the like harsh light of day, in reality, it's sort of hard to look at. But you can knock on it. It's, you know, if it's hard or soft or whatever, it can conform to what you want it to be.
Nice.
And if you want it to look like a suit of shining armor or a ball gown or whatever, it can be all of those things. Not at the same time, but it can meld to that. Still have some armored effect if you need it to be that.
Yeah, and with our new fancy armor rules, what are our armor stats?
So that the interstitial armor can provide 2 armor.
2. Okay.
Still, but that is now more beneficial than the 2 armor we had before. So,
Hell yeah.
however, chainsaw, that's not going to be helpful to you because your telekinetic field would stop something before it doesn't stack with your armor. So, and with Bill, there's a couple options we have there. I imagine we want to have Hector have his own suit that he wears like under Bill or inside Bill. But that probably wouldn't be an armored suit. That would just be like a jumpsuit that you could make look like clothes or whatever, but you wouldn't want it to be too bulky. And then Bill, like a lot of the plating can be retrofitted with interstitial material.
Okay.
So that Bill can look like shining armor or whatever, but probably not look like a ball gown.
Bill turns into a car.
Darn it.
I was like, I feel like here you should call me Kit.
Oh my god.
That name's taken already.
Damn.
That can be only one. Yeah. Fight.
Actually, Hector would ask Dr. Light about Bill.
How so?
Just like, because we don't have to roleplay this out, but just more of like, how would he work?
Yeah.
And the other.
Well,
whatever.
so as far as Dr. Light and the interstitial are concerned, Bill is a component of you, of your, like, is an offshoot of your telepathy. God damn it. Telepathy?
My TP?
Yeah. Not that.
Oh.
Anything but that. T-path. Nope.
TP.
That's when you
Telepathy.
transition from.
So the like Bill needs to remain with you and, you know, can't go wandering off on his own adventures, but you know, other than that, there's But I mean, that could be a thing, right? It might be that Will fully gains sapience, and that's not outside the realm of possibility. But for right now, Bill is a very high functioning device and is aware of himself, is sentient but not sapient.
Okay.
Is that distinction clear for
Yeah.
everyone?
Because Hector would be concerned that.
Sure. Like dogs are sentient,
Right.
but not sapient.
Well, he doesn't want him. Like, does Dr. Light think that Bill would have a chance to be atomized?
Well, Bill's already traveled
Right.
and was not animated.
But he would. This stuff Hector would be asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that as like the stuff that you've brought with you, you've already been reinforced against the travel.
Okay.
So, that Bill is safe to travel as far as that's concerned.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
But why can't Bill become a ball gown?
We'll have to work on that.
I mean, it's a shape issue, right? Like he's not entirely made of interstitial. He's like a frame underneath some like interstitial panels, right? So he can like get pretty close to looking something that is shaped like Bill.
We're in the London, England universe, and Bill's become a blue police box.
Yeah, I mean, there are a number. I think Bill could get pretty close to looking like a regular person, like a large, bulky person. If you like, mask out some of the green screen, some of the edges, and make him look a little more,
We
like.
just need to find a steampunk world.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, all of the above. Just putting that out there. That like there's
Sense.
Bill is still like a technological device developed by scintillation, and is therefore not a supernatural being.
That's fair.
So he's just a special being, but not a supernatural being. All right. So, what else do we need to cover in our montage of building the space? I'd really like to know what everybody's like something really substantial that you add to the base of something that you want to have there.
I mean,
At the IB.
Kit makes the med bay. I feel like
Okay.
that's the first thing that they're like, we should definitely have a place so that we don't have to travel from somewhere to the interstitial to home. It just should be here.
Sure. Now, a lot of
yeah.
the supplies here, though, would be pretty analog.
Yes.
I mean, you could have like computer and stuff that you bring
Yeah.
in.
But we wouldn't have like a med bot kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
and
that
that's
would
fine.
be, because I think like powering stuff here is a little complicated.
Sure.
I mean, you could charge stuff up while you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, like we could have a med bot that works while you're there, but I don't think that's helpful to you
No.
because if you're there, we don't need the med bot.
Right. Well, I wouldn't be able to use my powers there, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
right. Maybe like a passive version of your power is that
Mhm.
you can just like power devices.
Oh, because I have electricity inside
Yeah.
me now. Yeah,
That's
maybe
what I was thinking.
maybe I'm just like able to carefully use enough to like get something powered. But I don't even necessarily like we can have a med bot here. But also Kit got introduced to those a couple of months ago, so they
Yeah.
are also very
I like
I
the
have 10
idea.
dice in medicine now.
I kind of like the idea of our interstitial base being a little like anachronistically
Mhm.
basic, you
Yeah.
know,
We
and
can't run like an extension cord from our universe.
No.
Okay, so
no, that doesn't work.
So like a punching bag and like
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. It
jump
just means that
ropes.
I have to treat y'all, and we have gay little fan fiction
Yes.
scenes of me stitching you up, going, "You can't hurt yourself this way."
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that feel. Like it brings the story together in a way that's kind of fun and yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, there's no treadmill, right? There's jump ropes and punching bags, like you were saying. That kind of stuff to work out.
One of those automatic treadmills that you have to literally power by running on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And
One of those things that just shakes your butt for no reason.
and let's keep that idea that like you basically aren't using your powers while you're at the interstitial. So it's also a place for you to like just power down and be whatever you are without powers and think about that. Like
Who's bringing the books?
yeah, it's not that you have to stay here. You could go home anytime. Like if you can get to the interstitial, you could go home. Right?
Just sounds like a place to get a rest from my ADD, and that sounds amazing.
Sure. I would love that too. But I think the other part of this is if you're deployed into a place that Brian wrecked, there's some theoretical danger that you won't be able to get back until the damage is repaired, because that conduit is damaged. And using the conduit again could just damage it more until we repair what happened.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
I love that.
Hell yeah.
That's great.
Made up story bullshit.
So, med bay for me. What else does everyone else want to add?
I mean, does the interstitial also go by Al? That's what I need.
No, definitely not. Because that looks like AI when you try to spell it out. Okay, so we need, let's see, we're going to need something from Chainsaw. What did you say, like workout place? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Big
So,
leather punching bag.
gym. I love it. Hector,
Music room.
well, music room. Okay. Like with all kinds of analog instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Like electric keyboard. Just kidding.
You have a
Hammond
piano.
organ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Med bay for
Pretty
kids,
good.
Sapna?
I think Sapna brings in, because all their stuff got like boxed up and
Oh,
like
yeah. Putting in
like
storage.
kind of in a storage that they left for them, because like we know you do a lot for the community, but really like all your stuff
Yeah,
is at the storage.
I think it was like the lodge had to go pack up all your stuff because they knew where you were. They couldn't tell your apartment, but they did. They started seeing your like, the pink notices coming in, and they're like, "Oh crap, we either need to like pay for this, but what if they're gone for years? Like they couldn't really tell how long it was going to be."
Just imagining Sapna showing up with literally everything from their apartment.
I
Like, I just can't pay for storage. Like,
Yeah.
It's not everything, because all the electronics and everything, like they also, I think they're living at the lodge now. And they have moved a lot of their stuff into the room at the lodge, like replaced the bed and all this other furniture, but they bring in a bunch of the like fabrics and cushions, beanbag chairs, like stuff, like the comfort stuff that they had at their apartment that was also sound dampening.
Oh, like a low stimulation room.
Yes.
Love
Okay.
that.
And that is, and in the end, that is what it becomes. It's not quite a sensory deprivation chamber,
Yeah, but
like,
like a reading room, kind of like couches and soft things and books and that sort of thing.
probably not even any books.
Oh,
Like they are
okay.
there to like, because at this point they have so much information coming to them at any time.
Sure.
That it is like, I'm gonna be here to have silence.
Well, I'm
Never
imagining.
thought I wanted silence, but now I realize.
I'm imagining that these are spaces that all of you are using. Of like you've brought in this sort of like quiet space, but everyone uses it as quiet space.
Yeah.
So
So if people want to bring their books,
yeah, I imagine there's like some new bookshelves that interstitial bookshelves and all that. So
yeah. But it's a lot of like, velvety, plushy, soft things.
I think there's probably a little scene where interstitial's like, "Ooh, books." I'm like, "Oh, I know this, I know this, I know this." Like, just like throwing them to the side, not paying attention. They're like half open and squashed, and like the pages are like.
Interstitial.
It's not aware of like the.
Let's
This
talk
is
about
damaging.
respect for books. Let's.
Not others' belongings. Books.
Yeah. Sapna's never going to have a discussion about respect for others' belongings with anyone.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I like the idea that they were a little excited about maybe learning something, and then it was either too hard or they already knew it, and it was
God, I love that.
too complicated.
It's so good.
Okay. Anything else we should establish for our interstitial base? Okay. Anything we should mention for the audience, changes to our character sheets that might have been significant?
I'm scary now.
Scary in what way?
I have put some dice into intimidation because I think I look pretty scary when I got lightning bolts going around me.
Yep.
Yes.
Speaking of your electrical powers, do you want to talk about that at all, or wait till it comes up?
I've got an electrical power. It's called.
electrical
It's not here.
Well,
it's
right now
called
it's called-
Electric Kit.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all I'll say for now.
Or Electroducius,
yeah.
I guess.
Oh, good.
Or Caducey. How was that?
Caducical.
Caducical.
What about Conduit? Something Caduceus and Conduit. Maybe there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
Hot.
Conducius.
Conduitius.
That's
Conducius.
Caducey.
Conducius.
Conducius. We're changing
Got it.
my name.
Got it in one.
Oh, Sapna's slightly smarter now.
Oh yeah.
With this whole like new passion for learning things.
Oh yeah. Did you up your mind stat?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Same.
Cool. Love that. Oh, did we have any changes in our sense scores? I know we
I
talked
did.
about that briefly. Okay. So what's your sense now?
5.
Okay. And
Wins.
Hector's
4.
4. All right. I'm going to just move these tabs around so I know what order that's in. Since it's no longer a seat order.
So sad.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
You really,
and I guess
you let us all down.
that really made me double think twice about it. Was like, but it's not going to be like just around the table anymore.
We can manage. We
Yeah.
can manage our
Disappointment.
initiative roll.
you know what?
That's
No,
I
it's
was
just
trying to get.
retro because
Yeah.
in season 1,
That's true. It was Brian and then me.
True. Wait, so what's your mind?
My mind is 3.
Okay, cool. So that's
It was
still in
2.
order.
And as mentioned in the chat, we no longer need to use the transport panels anymore. And because Dr. Light finds them laughably primitive.
Antiquated.
Yeah.
Oh.
That she can like project a field, right, and send you through. It's not like a gate that you can walk through. It's still like a sort of teleporter experience, but it doesn't have to fit on a specific little like meter round pad or anything. It's just hold still. No, really.
It's abandonware now.
Don't wiggle and don't reach your arms out.
What if I do that? Spaghetti arms.
I can fix that.
No, nothing would happen. She just thinks it looks silly and doesn't
Yeah.
want you to do it.
She's perfect to me.
Okay, so
I took dice in security systems, but not like electronic security systems. Like I can look at a place and be like, okay, there's guards there, there's guards there. This is how they're going to do that. So I think that's something that like Sentinel specifically would really know well.
yeah.
And then my persuasion has gone up, and I have dice in intimidation.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think it had come up before, but I had security systems, because the whole like professional thief thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wonder if I'd oops. Oh, and I have been training on my blackjack, so
Okay,
more
some
proficient in
hand-to-hand
that.
fighting.
in that melee weapon.
Sure.
And that's mostly it. I may have upped athletics, but I can't remember what it was before. So the other things are just like,
Sure.
use that tech support a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
And now it goes twice as far.
Excellent.
Or whatever twice as many dice gives you, because it's not twice as far, it's some other thing. It's like 4 times 10 or whatever. But
Oh, I just realized I'm gonna have to owe you a big apology in a few minutes here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we'll get there. I think you'll know when we get there.
Cool.
I found the quantum leaping sound effect.
That's what was playing.
Yes.
Sorry. I was like, oh, I want this.
How does
and then
it go?
wouldn't.
Oh yeah. God, I know that.
So Hector.
And then you got to go,
So,
oh
yeah.
boy.
Oh,
So that is mentally what,
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's my mind palace of what happens to us.
I
when we
assume
leave.
Dr. Light just presses play on that sound effect and then activates the transport.
Dr. Light, also a fan of quantum leap.
Yeah.
I said sliders earlier. I'm like, why would I say sliders? I never watched that show, but I watched the hell out of Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I watched them both
Mm-hmm.
because they were both great in different ways. Well, up until that last.
I never saw
couple of seasons
Sliders,
of
but-
Sliders.
Yeah.
Mm.
I never saw
I
it.
eat sliders. Harvest.
Sure.
I always wanted
Yeah.
to have an app for my phone that when I smacked it, it would make that sound that owls.
Oh yeah.
had.
Yeah.
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 Ah, Gay icon, Sam.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. So I think we will I don't want to skip it over anything too quickly, but yeah. I think
But
this
here
is-
we go.
Yeah, I think we're at the point where like you've got settled in and you're doing all this stuff like several months later, we're getting stuff set up. You've also like had the time to deal with all the shit that got moved out of your apartment and, reconnect with Heather, reconnect with Rosalinda, come to grips with Gupta being gone and, thinking about how you're going to move forward with that, moving stuff into your interstitial space and doing whatever it is you're going to do that. And at some point, the interstitial themselves is like, so are we still going to fix stuff or?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to tell us where to go, right?
Oh, okay. So one version, the interstitial opens their mouth and just the equivalent of the 1980s modem sound. Yeah. And a number of different languages and stuff comes out and then they close their mouth and like, sorry, go that way. And there's a direction indicated, and the implication here is that if you keep walking in that direction, you should wind up in one of the places Brian ruined. So,
Okay.
Brian.
Ruined it.
Brian.
Brian, yes. I think that doesn't need to be said, I hope. Um,
Our Brian could never.
Exactly.
What happens if H. Brian only makes the torpedoes that he liked? I was thinking about that.
Oh, and doesn't actually make anything else on the menu?
Yeah.
I imagine that's kind of the situation, right? Of he makes the one torpedo, and if somebody orders something else, he either makes them his torpedo or somebody else makes their
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Or just stares blankly at
Yeah.
them until they're like, that one.
You know what?
No, you'll like this better.
I think Brian is the best about making when you go in and they ask you at the Blaze Pizza place and they're like, is this a preference or an allergy? And Brian is the absolute best at making allergy torpedoes
Oh, sure. Yeah.
and his torpedo.
Yes.
And then, but if it's a preference, someone else has to make it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I just don't like that. It's that doesn't make any sense.
You will if I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you just haven't had it made good. Um,
Do we need to get dressed up for this, or is that what our meld armor is?
yeah, as long as you've got your interstitial armor on, it should, match whatever it is you're going to do.
Sweet.
So we walk towards this undefined horizon. And after a few moments, you start to smell sea air and you can hear seagulls and you can hear the creaking of a ship. And you find yourself standing on the deck of a ship.
Oh.
Blue skies, little white clouds. And there's a moment here where you can feel what the interstitial was talking about, right? This world is so different from yours
Mm-hmm.
that your powers are creating kind of it's a little I want to say it's not a vibration, it's not literally an electric shock, but it's sort of like the Joker buzzer thing that is, I guess, sort of an electric shock, but it's like it's like your bones are in wrong. Just like something isn't right. And it will
Do our bodies feel like they want to conform?
not necessarily, but something isn't right, and you can either just muscle through it and do your thing, or we can try to fit. Now, I think everybody would like to try to fit, right? To determine how well that goes. Now, the fact that you're willing to make the effort means it's going to work. But I want to do stability rolls.
Sure.
And before we
great at
roll,
those.
hold on, before we roll, I will not be allowing rerolls.
Okay.
If you would like to spend willpower on dice now, that's okay.
Sure.
But we will not be doing rerolls.
Oh, do we have max willpower now?
Yes. Well, except for whatever you spent with Gupta. Didn't you have to reroll something with him?
Yeah, but that was 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because all that happened when we first got back.
All right.
I got a pair of 9s.
Okay.
I will ask, since Kit is very versed in like fitting into things differently,
I don't know. I think Kit is,
or is it like extra weird for them?
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're used to making your body what you want it to be, not
Right.
what someone else
I have
wants
to
it
let
to be.
the wave be ridden. That makes
Yeah.
sense. All right. 1 willpower per die, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take myself back up to 7.
Okay. What do you got?
Oh, no, that's not bad. Pair of 4s.
Okay.
I was like, another pair of 2s. Really? Oh,
Sure.
no, wait.
4s are better, yeah.
Question.
6s.
Okay.
I get one more die.
I have negative luck.
Oh, that's not up yet.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Well, I was gonna say if you wanted to apply some because I got a pair of 9s.
Oh, no. I know. I think it's only you.
Mm-mm. I'm in the negatives.
Oh, okay. We have 2 bad luck
Ooh.
kids. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Just by 3.
Normally that's going to come up, like I'll apply a penalty at some point.
Sure.
Okay.
Although usually you all get out of your bad luck before I have a chance to use it. So, all right. Okay. So, you find yourself standing on the deck of the ship, of a ship. It's a, wooden, like, I forget what it's called. It's like a 2-mast ship where there's look, I'm sorry, it's called the poop deck. Like, the raised area
You don't
and the
have to
aft.
apologize. Somebody else named it.
Yeah. It's a raised area in the
Little
aft
brigantine?
where there's like the big steering wheel that's like the size of your body.
Caravel.
The
Yeah.
helm.
Oh yeah, caravel sized ship. Absolutely. So there's that. It's got 2 masts, sails, and all of that. And as you look around, there is somebody who's sort of like stepped out from behind the wheel saying, "Would you care to explain yourselves?" Now, this is a little wild. This person is, well, I mean, there's a cat person. So, would you like to carry on the description for me, Pooja?
Oh, so this person is very much like humanoid, but whiskers, the pointy tufted ears that like have currently gone instead of facing like normal and forward, kind of like weirdly flat
Mm.
against their head. Pretty sure
Suspicious
ears
cat.
shouldn't do that, but they do.
Mhm.
And is wearing a set of like, black pants that do nothing to hide the fact that they have never missed a leg day in their entire life. With a matching set of weaponry, like you can see the tops of some daggers pointing out of it, a wide belt with some intricate drawings on it, and a blood red shirt. Parts of it are slightly different tone than the other parts.
Mm-hmm.
So
More blood
you're-
red than others.
Exactly.
Some of it's just red.
Some of it's just. Some of it's like, oh yeah, that's just blood.
Try blood red.
Yep.
So to be clear, we are in a pirate world.
Well, you're on a wooden sailing ship.
I just want to know what we're going to describe our characters as once we get around to us.
That is an important detail.
Yes.
Right? This person, it looks like a cat pirate.
Okay.
I mean, it's humanoid, right?
Mhm.
And I forget, does Lucky use they, them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Me too now.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we fixed it. I forgot. So I think probably draws a sword. Maybe.
Dual guitars.
Good
Those
guitar.
like
Yeah.
fist daggers.
So I thought maybe we'd just draw one.
Mm-hmm.
And in a vaguely menacing, like, it's time to explain what you're doing on my ship.
We're here to help.
We come in peace. Wait, that's the wrong
Also-
thing to say, right?
Well, no, it's
Right?
true.
It's true. Say that to aliens, right?
Now, my instinct as your GM is to say, you're dressed so strangely. But tell me how you're dressed. What are you wearing?
Well, this is important. All of us change. Like, all of us changes, right?
Yeah,
What world of possibilities are we looking into here, Jason?
you tell me. There are humans in this
Sure.
world. Okay, so I'll tell you that. I'll also tell you none of you have the headache pressure.
Okay.
Okay. But this is a fantasy world, if you want to call it that. It's not D&D,
Sure.
but it's not the Sword Coast,
Okay.
literally, but
I gotta think. Everybody else is
it's fantasy pirates.
hell yeah.
Anyone know what they want to describe?
Chainsaw's a dwarf.
Okay.
Hector lacks creativity and looks like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
What does Bill look like?
Bill looks like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, okay. Are you?
Yeah.
Bill is your armor right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you just look like a tall Captain Jack Sparrow. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I have a head wrap.
Hold on. I love it. Could it be the animatronic Jack Sparrow
Yeah.
from Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
ride?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I have a head wrap, and then the poofy pirate shirt, but with like long leather jerkin over the top of it that goes down to like my knees, which isn't very far in this world.
Yeah.
And then boots.
You're like a tall Hulk in real life,
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
Yeah. So
Maybe-
no, that's
maybe not-
fine. No, I love that you're short. Like that's a huge difference.
Yeah. And then he's got a bunch of pistols tucked into his waistband and a brace of pistols.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, and like this this cape that like kind of glistens a little bit
Mm.
and like kind of has some shifting colors in it. Looking at my powers.
Sure. Yeah. And this is something good to think about is how will your powers be represented in your visage? So.
Oh yeah. And then hanging off the back of his belt are a couple of big kegs of gunpowder.
Yes,
Like to blow
I
stuff
love
up.
That's right. Oh yes.
Did you
Call
play-
this the boar's head.
Did you play the original Warcraft games? Like
Yes.
Warcraft 1 and 2?
Yes.
The like dwarven not miners, scrappers? No. What's that called? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Sappers.
Sappers, yes.
That would I like to blow stuff up. All right. Any thoughts?
Sapna is still dressed all in black, but like weirdly high court wear.
Okay.
Like so like a shiny black vest with a matte black coat, like short in the front, the long tails,
Yeah.
knee-high boots, with like an intricately tied cravat
Mm.
in bone color, which like isn't like bone white isn't white. It's
Right,
that like
yeah.
yeah.
Slightly
Not
off-white.
dark white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at their side, instead of the blackjack has lengthened and kind of like there is now a truncheon
Yeah.
attached to
Ooh.
their belt.
Okay.
Amazing.
Cool.
I'm gonna be very silly because I do have a pirate in the world, so I'm just gonna maskify them.
Do it.
Sure.
Do it.
So Kit is now, let's see, mask version like us, because the film version is 6 feet. So let's make this one 6'3".
Sure.
Very pale elf with this like long white hair that falls down in braids. But the most like weird thing about them that's a huge change, because Kit's pretty like apple pie, is that they have like tattoos all up and down their arms, and it's all text. None of it is like cool sweeping waves or anything. And if you were to look closely, and if you had any medical knowledge, you'd be like, Oh, this is shit like straight from a textbook. Like this is a bunch of medical terminology tattooed all over this
In
person
Latin.
in Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he even like
Uh,
labeling like this is an elbow?
Oh,
but like in
absolutely.
Latin?
100%.
Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are wearing these pants that are very rough canvas, I think, with just tons of pockets and inside and like little straps, and just everything connected to them is like some kind of fantasy style surgical tool.
Sure.
And then absolute.
Now, I do want to establish too
Yeah.
that your persona here can, like, your powers don't have to be represented by physical
Oh
objects,
yeah,
right? They,
but
like,
I'm
a
doing it.
magical reality is available
Oh,
here
100%.
as well.
This is
Yeah.
just
Okay.
this is just my joy and my pride.
Great.
And then on the top, absolute horror, just like a belt. That's it.
Oh, topless though.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought you were trying to say horror.
No, not horror.
Just horror.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. That's good. That's
It's
good.
the one time.
Where we actually wanted to say horror.
Yeah. Great. Great. No, I endorse this. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Hector, is there anything else we should know other than animatronic Captain Jack Sparrow?
No, I think he does because like he's been disconnected, and I don't think he was really into gaming and stuff, or just
Sure.
So I think like that's like his inner monologue is like, why does everybody look different? I thought we'd all do Pirates of the Caribbean, like
Right.
yeah,
Oh, we all agreed.
yeah, like he was thinking like,
Yeah.
or like, wow, everybody's it's different.
Yeah. Well, I do like the idea though that these images are limited or informed by your character's idea of what a fantasy version of themselves would look like. So
Because he's like, Captain Jack Sparrow's cool.
yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
his idea.
Love him.
So as we have this sort of panning shot of like getting everybody in, your character, you have this experience of that like buzzing vibration settling down. You're like you're it's like in the back of your teeth kind of sensation calms down, and you can feel like you're aware that you're not in the right space that you're supposed to be in, but it's okay to be here for now. And whatever that might mean should be part of that.
Amazing.
Okay.
One thing, if Hector is carrying the device,
Which,
what we're going to use to like see
Oh,
where
the-
Ebrine punched through,
oh yeah.
that it looks like the compass from the movie where it just like spins.
Oh sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all that stuff is fine. There is, because some of it's made out of like interstitial material or whatever. Okay. Is there anything left that might feel a little bit out of place that it's not going to like ruin your play or whatever? I just want to know, like, is there anything we see that looks like it's from somewhere else or looks like it's a little bit out of place? It's up to you.
Kid still has their hat on. They're like,
Like
shit.
baseball cap? You can put that on, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Little things like that are okay. Like
Yeah.
the fact that your character is willing
But
to
it doesn't work with their hair
go
anymore.
with it. Oh, I see. Yeah. But it does show off the pointy ears.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
James was like, it's bright out here. Just sunglasses.
Okay, yeah.
No, I think it works. It was just funny because you were talking about like hats and hair, and I was like, oh, I think Sapna's mask has become like the half.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
and Red Pirate Roberts.
Yes.
style mask. Yeah.
cool. All right. And so the four of you are kind of towards the front of the ship facing the captain. Behind you, a voice says, sort of like deep voice, says, "It's all right, Captain. I can tell they're speaking the truth." And look over your shoulder, and the prow, what's the thing called that sticks out the
It's the bow of the ship.
Yeah, the prow
statue,
is prow,
the
right?
statue
Oh, the
thing.
masthead.
Masthead,
Or
masthead.
figurehead, yeah.
Figurehead on the ship has like turned. It's wooden, but is turned in a much more fluid fashion than you expect a wooden masthead to do. And is turned to sort of look over his shoulder and say, "It's all right, Captain Lucky. I think they're telling the truth."
Okay, relieving at least. Hi, I'm Kit.
It's a strange name.
Kit Ducey.
But is it Kid or Caduceus?
Yes. First name, last name. But these are my friends, my teammates, and we are here to help. Apparently somebody came through here a while ago and fucked a lot of shit up, and we're here to try to help with that.
I may know what you mean, but I need to know whether you're here to make it worse or not. This is the captain speaking.
Definitely not. Definitely not trying to make anything worse. No.
We're here to fix it.
Yeah.
Chainsaw's super into this.
Our-
You see Bill go.
Fortunately, they have automatons in this world.
Oh, sweet.
So that works out okay. So here's the thing. Captain Lucky's a suspicious person by nature.
yeah.
Is that
So
fair? I should hope you agree.
Have I ever made a trusted character in my entire life?
So I'm going to need somebody to make a convince me roll.
Oh.
And I'm going to... I don't know that I need to do an opposed roll, but what I would love is either persuasion or leadership. I'm
Ooh.
open to either.
Someone help me out here.
I'm good with.
I can help with some persuasion.
It's just Kit was right there trying to make the case,
I was.
and I feel like you might need to roll something.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's some way to help. What are you going to roll?
It's persuasion or leadership, right?
Yeah, unless you could make a case for something else, but I don't know what it would be.
Sure. Let's persuasion. I at least have 4 dice in. So
Well, if I give you one of my willpower to buy an extra die,
Wait, do you have 4? Oh, you have 4 because
I
of
have
your
4
charm.
in charm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
so
To add a die.
mhm.
Okay.
You don't want to make it intimidation?
No.
Yes.
I'm trying. Listen. The way that my intimidation works is I've tied it to my lightning powers, and I do not want to put lightning on a ship.
Oh, I thought you were.
My
I thought you tied it to your make yourself look like a crazy body horror
No,
thing.
no. My pirate in the other game actually is also like lightning flavored, and literally their big thing is that they set ships on fire with lightning. So like, you gotta be careful.
Yep.
Yeah, no. I'll use persuasion.
Okay, if you're going to persuade and somebody was helping...
Yes.
You know, let's just have everybody make an empathy roll. Everybody who's not
That's
Kit.
sweet.
Empathy?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we going to bring up superpowers at all? Did we discuss that?
I think better not to bring them up before we know what the fuck is going on.
And if there are superpowers here, like so far we have seen a talking figurehead, which is a good sign. But
Here they call that magic.
and
Nothing.
Okay. What do you got?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Pair of 10s and 3 2s.
Nice.
Let's take 2 for that. So add 3 to your persuasion roll.
like,
Add 3 dice.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then on
I'm
top
already
of the die
feeling
that I
pretty
already
good.
Nice.
Feel gooder.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna stay with my pair of 9.
Oh, actually, here's why I'm going to make it an opposed roll. Because you currently have bad luck.
Oh,
Uh,
I have 9s. That's
I have to
Good.
beat 9s. Yeah.
Here comes
My
me.
dice would never just roll a pair of raw 10s.
Oh, they're definitely not 5 10s.
Nah, you're good.
okay.
That would never happen.
Never.
Ever.
I did roll 5 10s one time.
son of a...
Rude.
That was disrespectful,
That
and
was wild.
I still feel bad about
No,
it.
you don't.
A little bit. Hey, did you roll 10s? Just raw 10s?
Mhm.
Well, you get a willpower back.
Hey.
Nice.
If you can, if you're not at max. Okay, so at this point, Captain Lucky looks the four of you over and says, all right, I have a sense what you're about. And I assume you might be talking about the abomination.
Oh.
Whoa.
What?
Let me explain. There's too much. Let me sum up. I misspoke. I said abomination. What I meant to say was the annihilator.
Abomination.
Ooh.
Annihilator does make more sense. I was like, what did he look like when he came here?
Well,
I mean,
one of the things is that he did not change his appearance, and so if you hold up a charcoal sketch that you have on some sailcloth,
Of course.
you'll see the face, and they're like, yes, he was dressed very strangely and had pieces of equipment that we didn't recognize, and all this kind of stuff. However,
Strange magical devices.
yes. And Captain Lucky says, we're a little out of the way right now. We will have to head towards the hole in the middle of the ocean. I'm sorry, I know that's a long ways away, but
The hole that everyone knows about.
how did you find my ship, by the way?
pure luck.
What sort of sending did you use? Because my ship guards against sendings.
Right.
And the masthead turns around, like faces the front, like folds his arms, and just makes a very like.
Does anyone want to take this one? Or yeah.
Oh.
The ship was a thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Does anyone just? I mean, I can. No. Okay. We are not from here.
From where?
This world.
All right.
This plane of existence.
Your spirits.
No. We're people, definitely.
Yep.
Knock knock, but we didn't send here. We
I have a-
landed here. Does
I have
that
a-
help?
Out of character question.
Yeah.
Have any of you died before?
Me. Yeah.
Kit died once.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. Continue with your explanation.
Ah, cool.
However, as
You're dead now.
Captain Lucky is looking over all of you, and I mean, you were kind of leading the conversation anyway, but their cat eyes just like lock, like in an uncomfortable amount of eye contact. As you continue, what was it you're saying?
We didn't send here. I think that's your word for it. We landed here. So we kind of got dropped from where we came from and just landed on your ship. So it wasn't magical, just
Lucky.
happened. Lucky. Sorry. I promise I'm telling the truth, if that's why you're looking at me like that, or...
Let me see your wrists. No, just your left wrist.
Oh, okay. I'm not from here.
Lucky's like irritated with you.
And Kit will hold out their wrist.
Lucky, I don't know if they have sleeves, but they tuck their sleeves up to their forearms. And pulls a like leather wrapped scroll from a belt pouch and unrolls it and holds it next to your exposed wrist. They want you to like
Okay.
hold your hand out, palm up,
Yeah,
and
do it.
holds this out. And a number of like just this like unreadable text appears.
Okay.
That Lucky looks over. Says, I see. You were allowed to return.
Sorry?
Who gave you permission to come back?
I've never been here before.
You went to the so they roll up the thing and they're like still hold it like uncomfortable amount of eye contact.
Yeah.
You went to the land of the dead and were allowed to return. Who authorized it?
Oh.
Because I don't have a visa on file for you.
Remember how I said we weren't from here? We've
Yes.
got a different land of the dead.
That's not a thing.
So honestly, I came back just by good luck.
How did you know?
Preparation.
Mm,
Look. It's a lot to explain, but there are many worlds. The Annihilator was not from your world. We are not from your world. We are not from the Annihilator's world. I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you could comprehend.
Hector's mind's blown because everybody's talking different voices. He's like, what am I not getting here?
All right. This mini worlds notwithstanding, I suppose there can be something, but the land of the dead is something everyone experiences. Everyone dies.
What? Like always? Like before they've lived their whole life, or?
Well, eventually.
Oh, okay. All right. That threw me off a little.
So, if you're back, then you must have been. Okay, you probably don't remember. This is what happens usually.
Okay.
So, if you don't mind, I'll have a drop of your blood on this piece of paper, and it'll let me know what your assignment was.
You know what? Sure. I'm interested. There's a figurehead. A kid will just put their finger over and like wait for the paper to come, and then just a drop of blood.
Oh, that's so weird and gross.
That's so much.
Yeah, because I
Squeezing
think
out a drop
like
of blood.
Captain like hands you a like pin or something and like unrolls the thing, and then you don't even prick your finger. You just like
Yeah.
boop.
Yeah.
Like, You hemomancer.
Kind of.
They're like holding this scroll, but the bead of blood, or the drop of blood has beaded up on it and is like refusing to soak into
Yeah.
the material of the scroll. Captain's like rolling it around, like trying to like balance a marble on a table. Kind of like, huh. It doesn't, I've never seen that before.
Not from your world.
Right. Do you want that back? Or
Just hoover it up with your finger.
it's like the least strange thing this captain has
Yeah,
seen today.
yeah.
So, okay. So they roll that back up and like, all right. So what you're telling me is you're not, no, sorry, Captain Lucky's not stupid. I'm just like getting into it a little bit. All right. We'll change course right away. And we'll see what we can do. It's just me and the ship. Shoot, do you remember what Nick's character was called?
Amusingly enough.
This is the book.
I think
It's
it
like
is the
right there.
book. So I just need to
I can't remember.
the cast-offs. There we go.
If anyone's curious, Castoffs on happyjacks.org, I think /castoffs, was a game we ran a couple years ago. It was
Nice.
a lot of fun. Or was it right after pandemic? Or right before? It was after, I think.
It was after.
Yeah.
We were here.
Yeah, it was
and
like
it
one
was
of
like
our
the winter before. Sal.
Sal. Yes.
Nice.
So the captain says it's just me and Sal, indicating the masthead.
Mm.
But that's all we need to get the ship moving.
Okay.
We were gonna drop off a load of cargo, but it's small and it can be late, so I'm not worried about that. Let's turn the ship around. And Sal gestures and like sails drop, the wheel turns of its own accord, the whole, just everything gets going the way it's supposed to go. And the ship is redirected. The right away, I mean, you had the whole view of everything, but when the ship comes around and is like pointing in the direction, you get a good look at the direction you're supposed to be going in. You can see just like purpling storm clouds and just way, way, way in the distance. You're not going to get there today, but just it's something. Now, the ship is moving much more slowly than most of you could probably travel on your own. Now, the caveat being, your powers work within the context of what this world expects them to do. You still have all of your superpowers. If you want to travel at supersonic speeds, you can, but that's not normally what the magic of this world would allow for. All right? So, if you want to break the rules of the world, that is within the possibility, but we would handle it a little bit like, actually, I was listening to the Mage game last night. We would handle it a little bit the way Mage handles Paradox, right? Of how you might build up. Maybe I'll make it like a little meter.
Ooh.
Do a little like condition monitor for your character sheet that is not damage, but is, existential stress. Oh God.
Yes, I love this.
The
psychic damage is real.
Yeah. That is, if you want to push beyond sort of the limitations that you have imposed on yourself, that is possible, but you will sort of desync yourself from this reality. And that could have consequences. It's probably not bad, but, whatever. So.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. What could go wrong?
Can we ask about this hole
Annihilator thing?
in the ocean
Hole
and
in
how
the
it was
ocean,
made? Yeah.
So the Annihilator. Other than annihilate, what is it? How did it come about?
Well, no one knows the answer to that. He appeared at one of the islands and made some incomprehensible demands and commandeered a ship, just threw people off left and right. Nobody could stop him, and managed to commandeer a ship and head towards the hole in the ocean, where he immediately destroyed the village there and the people in it, and apparently somebody who was living there was his target. And but there's hardly anyone left living, and the people who are left don't speak about it because it was horrible. So I know where he arrived, and I know the last place anyone talks about him being here, but I can't tell you much more than that. And I know that he never arrived in the City of the Dead.
No, he's still alive. But he won't be doing any more annihilating.
Well, he owes a debt to the people I work for,
Who do you work for?
the City of the Dead.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, that's coming
Interesting.
together now.
So what, you make sure that any runaways get put back?
It's more accurate to call me an ambassador, but if the agreements are broken, then I repair them.
Interesting.
Really glad that my blood didn't land on that round. Ooh.
I'm very curious to know what your city of the dead is like and how it could be different from mine, because I would have thought there was only one, even if there were multiple worlds, which I've contemplated. But
Of course. You know, that's
I'm curious too.
a question that I don't think our world has answered very effectively.
oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
We, well, I have to imagine that's upsetting. So you don't know what happens when somebody dies? Oh, I'm so sorry. And like the look of genuine compassion and like existential horror, of like, that's horrible for you,
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's okay. It's just
Well, I hope, well, that's not the right way to say it, but if you were to die here, I can assure you it's a good experience. It's a thing that is supposed to happen, and there's a place for you.
okay.
Noted.
I mean, I would argue that, I mean, just because we don't know where we go doesn't mean that it's not something natural, and you get to be a part of the world again, and
But that's not a
I'm
guarantee if
getting
you
into
don't
my
know.
philosophy. Oh, I meant our bodies.
Well, your body would deteriorate. That's
Yeah.
You're not your body.
No, but then you get to be the trees and the air and the animals.
Their expression is not congruous.
They don't get it.
That's a nonsense
Kit
thing that
coming
you said.
into the molecular understanding of my
Right.
body gets to become something else.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck?
No, that's a nonsense thing that you just said.
That's right. They feast on our bodies on death, and then they grow.
So has anybody looked at this hole?
Did
Well-
he make the hole?
Well, no, of course not. It's the hole in the ocean.
And there's a village there
There
in the hole?
Was, yes.
I'm really interested.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Mhm.
Annihilator shows up,
Yes.
goes to village.
I mean, we didn't know he was the Annihilator when he arrived.
Right,
but
right.
quickly made himself known.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
did
the-
he call himself the Annihilator? I'm so sorry.
No, we dubbed him that.
Okay, that's better. Good.
I mean, it seems it'd be
No,
kind of
he's
on
just
brand if
the-
he called himself that.
It came to my
Right.
attention quickly because a number of people arrived at the gates in an untimely fashion. So that always requires investigation.
Right.
So then he went to the island. Said island turns into a hole.
No, he arrived at the island, commandeered a ship, and sailed to the hole.
And there's a
The hole
village in the
in
hole.
there.
Yes,
Okay.
I
Oh.
feel like I've said yes. There's
You did.
Yeah, this is uncommon where we come from. So just trying to wrap our heads around it. Yeah.
Well, we don't have many holes in the ocean either. Just
We
one.
don't have any holes in the ocean, so
Oh,
I would have thought
Strange.
that it would go into nothingness maybe, or
but there's something at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a floor of the
Yeah,
ocean. The ocean floor. Is
In
what
our
it's called.
world, there's water on top of it all.
Well, the gesture at the ocean that you're sailing on, like this.
Oh boy, I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a wall that makes the hole?
I'd never really thought about it.
Oh, okay.
And is the village on the
Do
floor?
you mean like a brick wall? No.
I mean, I wouldn't have assumed that it was made of brick.
Well, a barrier. No, not that I'm aware of, but maybe in some other sense. I think we may be stumbling over terms a little bit,
Right.
but because where you're from sounds very strange to me, and I imagine some of what I'm familiar with sounds strange to you, apparently.
Mm.
Yes.
Like he's still very suspicious of you, Kit. of like somebody who's returned from the land of the
A
dead.
little bit of like, there is a little bit of a bullshit streak in Kit that they keep like so on lock, and I have to just let you know that they're very tempted right now to be like, I can do it right now, watch, and just like stop their heart and start.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I kind of. I can give you a demonstration if that's helpful.
Of what?
Dying.
I know what dying looks like.
Oh.
I think that our world, we have things to bring people back from the dead.
We do have that.
So
I mean, kind of.
they try pretty hard. I mean, people
Mm.
die and they come back.
There's a period of time in which that becomes not allowed here.
You know, that is kind of fair.
And that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, there is also a period of time where I guess we wouldn't call it not allowed, but yeah,
Not feasible.
not possible.
Oh, well, not possible is a stretch, but not allowed is what we would say.
Right. In our world, it's more not possible, and I would know. So
Oh, that sounds much easier than what do I have to deal with.
yeah, well, in some ways,
Well, there are people here who will do it even when it's not allowed,
right?
and then I have to go and deal with them.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you can like get people back if you really want to, right?
What do you mean, get them back to the land of the dead? Yes, that's what I do.
Magic trick. Stop their heart.
You just like collapse on the deck of the ship?
Their brain's still working if they stop their heart. So I think they just like go white for a second, go to their knees, and then start it back up again and stand back up.
Well, I mean, you weren't really dead, were you?
No, I mean, not by my brain.
Sure, head and heart have to be in sync.
I don't want to turn that off. I don't think I can turn that back on.
Do you want to find out? Because I think I can allow you free passage.
I don't think we should try this.
They're so interested. No.
No.
No?
If you promise to sleep every night for the next week.
No, I don't think this
can't
is
do that.
bargaining.
We're on a
Chain-
ship. We're in the water. I can't do that.
Chainsaw's been having this whole conversation with his head sticking over the front next to the masthead.
Amazing.
And his beard blowing on both sides of
Sure,
his neck,
yeah.
like that, turning around. And I'm not sure knows exactly what's happening right now, just
He
grinning.
probably hasn't heard every word with the wind in your ears and, yeah.
I'm probably talking to, is it? the-
Sal is the
Sal.
masthead, yeah.
I do have a question. Because I have this always on power.
Mm.
That in our world translates to technology.
Uh-huh. Yes, I wanted to ask you about that, actually, of how you might interpret that, how that might translate. I'm open to suggestions. I don't have an idea off the top of my head.
Currently, I think the listening in part, like the always on part, it would be fun if I hear like it kind of becomes like eavesdropping on Sal's thoughts. Like just the sentient ships. But I understand if you don't want to do that one
No,
specifically.
I think there is a type of magical technology here
Mhm.
that makes sense. In their original story, we had one of the main plots was the
Or so I
Royal
guess the non-sentient ships though.
the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company
Good.
had developed sentient ships that could pilot themselves with just a fraction of the normal crew. And I think that type of sort of autopilot technology is something that you could clue into. You also have the little communicators and stuff that you all have brought with you that are subtle enough that, we just kind of need them to exist. Or you have little sending stones in your ear or whatever. But yeah, something like that, I think is, you have a sense of all the runes that are like under the decking and how Sal indicated, and like maybe that's how you became aware of it when Sal like turned the ship and like re-rigged the sails, and the sails are running themselves up and down, you know, like doing whatever it is they're supposed to do. Certainly, I think that's doable.
Fun. Oh, well,
Oh, I mean, maybe this would be good. Thank you for the suggestion in chat. As you're looking over all this material, and it's not visible, but in this sort of like blue light buried in the gunnel of the ship that is not visible to the naked eye, but is visible to your technological awareness, is this sort of not digital, but magical corporate brand that reads the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company, property of the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company.
So you said that you work for the City of the Dead, but you are the captain of this ship, and this ship is the property of the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company, according to...
This ship belongs to no person because this ship is a person and people cannot be owned.
I agree.
Very good. It's good that we establish that now so there's no further misunderstanding.
So why does the bottom of the ship say that?
Why does their arm have that text written all over it?
This is the medical terminology for blood.
It's like a tattoo that went on without their permission. And they lucky gestures towards Sal. And is still there now because it's impossible for us to remove.
That fucking sucks.
That is truly egregious.
I agree.
I wonder...
Our best magicians indicated that if we removed any component of the text that allows Sal to be Sal, that it could...
Cascading network failure.
I think so, yes, that might be the term they used.
We'll see.
Now, I'm curious, Sapna, having read the name Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company, whether the acronym stands out to Sapna.
Let's find out.
Okay? Because also you've now said the name out loud, and if anybody else, if that acronym or that strange company name might draw your attention.
So I'm gonna say this one's a scrutiny? Perception? What do you think?
It's I think it's
the board
a
on my
mind
next
task. What are our mind skills?
Rude.
Security
systems? Or streetwise?
Oh, streetwise.
Okay.
That's the one.
I'm not very streetwise.
If anyone would like to roll streetwise, you're welcome to.
I'm playing with my cape in the
Hey!
wind.
Sure. Look it go.
They get it. That's
Yeah.
a pair of 9s.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Once again, I can't get any willpower back, but
3s
I
are
can.
fine.
I can.
I got 2 9s.
9s are also fine. So the three of you at this, I think it has to stand out that obviously the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company stands for RISE Company, which is very close to RISE Corporation. And it's hard to deny the coincidence.
Yeah. So who are the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company?
Well, they're mostly what that says. They're a shipping and exploration company that runs a fleet of ships, and they have most of the influence over the business of the islands.
And I'm assuming if they are enslaving and tattooing without consent. Well, let's be blunt. That they're evil.
Yes. To the best of our understanding, they did not intend to create beings with personhood, but they did, and did not change their plans when they realized, for instance, that Sal is a person. So.
We're just trying to create self-driving ships.
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
Sounds like another asshole I know about.
Now, their influence, their power has been reduced somewhat since the resurgence of. Do you remember
The kingdom.
the kingdom's name? Oh, shit.
The kingdom.
The kingdom.
The kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Since
there was a lot of
Since-
the kingdoms.
since the wall retook his throne,
The wall?
Valdana.
the city, the kingdom of Eldana, has been able to. Well, they started with a pirate fleet, and have managed to be quite a thorn in their sides.
It's good to
We've
hear.
made progress there, but they're very powerful. I mean, I don't see a way that they could be completely eliminated, but we've made a lot of progress and we've gotten a lot of ships to safety.
Who owns them?
What?
The company.
The Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company?
Mhm.
No, Lucky never says Rise Company.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was a gag in the show too, that everyone committed to. There's a board of directors, as far as I understand. I don't totally. I mean, is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Just curious. Good to know.
So when we go, are we gonna like sail and then go like this?
God, I hope not.
Oh.
I don't know how we'd get back out again.
Sorry, it's just that we're very curious. It's very interesting. Just have a lot of questions. But
Yeah.
thank you for not killing us and for allowing us to be on Sal. And thank you, Sal, for allowing us to be on you.
All right.
And for taking us to the hole in the ocean.
So I think since Chainsaw is paying the most attention to the ride, I'm gonna have you roll scrutiny for me.
Hmm.
Or do you have any like special like superpower sensing scan stuff? I don't think so.
Not really.
You mostly blow stuff up
Mm-hmm.
or move real good.
And we have confirmed.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ooh.
We never said rise.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's a pair of 9s and a pair of 8s.
Okay. Well, you have plenty of warning, but you see there's this sort of natural movement of how the waves are spreading out ahead of you. It's relatively calm waters. It's midday, high, sun's high in the sky, almost entirely blue sky, few little puffy white clouds just because it looks good for contrast. We'll add them in CG. But there's a strange like break in the waves. They start to move a little differently, and the undulating starts to break the surface a little bit, and you're starting to see these long, muscular tentacles
Tentacles.
undulating in the
Tentacles. Tentacles. There's tentacles. There's tentacles in the water. There's tentacles. Part
and
like frightened, part really excited.
And Sal, who is sort of is like just locked into the ship next to you, looks and says, "Oh no."
Well, that's not good.
And there's some running around. The captain comes and looks and says, "Oh, Okay. This, if you know how to operate a cannon, there are several down below that I could use your help with.
Flip my guns around. I am a cannon.
Okay. Well, I hope you can swim. But hopefully Sal will hold together.
What is it?
Well, it's a kraken.
Got it.
Mm.
Good.
Well, I swim. When I throw my cape at
Fly.
me, and it goes into these big wings, and I go, when I can fly.
Okay, so you go flying off the deck of the ship.
Mhm.
If we end up in combat rounds, I know what I want to do.
Okay. I think it's inevitable at this point.
Yeah, it's happening.
The kraken of this world is not a beast that could be reasoned with. It is. I don't know. Do you want to
Are they
reach
still
out?
an endangered species?
Well, sort of. Not really. No, they're not endangered. They're but
Dangerous.
but as some of them get bigger and angry and cranky, it's time for them. It's time for them to go. We're supposed to collect their ink and send them on their way.
It's its time.
Yes.
Before it becomes old enough to when it dies to create a portal to the city of the dead.
Yes, that is bad. We need to end them before that. It is for everyone's best interest. Kit, did you want to reach out biotechnically? Anything made up words?
I think the last time that I tried to reach into a creature, it messed up my brain.
A little bit. If you're scared, I guess that's fine. You don't have to.
See, the thing is,
Maybe you're not the best.
I can't.
Thank
Here's
you.
the thing. I can't be goaded into this, but the thing that is actually tempting me is that I think you have something that you really want to tell me.
No, I don't. Actually, no. Don't read into that.
Okay.
I wanted to give everyone a chance to use their powers.
I know what I want to do, and it's to do with my new powers, not my biokinetics.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. So this massive creature arrives, and we are talking like the length of 2 football fields, and the body is like half of 1 football field, and the tentacles are 150 yards by them, just themselves. There are many of them, probably at least 12, and it's just massive. The body of it is not squid shaped. It's kind of like if a turtle and an octopus got together. There's a lot going on there. The beak is at the front of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Octopus beak is in its crotch.
Mhm.
That's not the situation. This has like a head and a mouth and a shell, and then these trailing 12 tentacles that would sort of be like 12 legs, I guess. It's a horrific, monstrous thing. It circles around as the ship is coming about. Sal is like, sort of like, maybe if we go this way, but there's no, like, you see how fast it's moving. There's no way they could outrun it.
Mhm.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
So, I have to declare on 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's before me.
No.
Great.
I'm not sure what can Lucky do in this situation.
Well, so Lucky had...
We don't want to look up the exact powers because that system ate butts.
What was the system?
I mean,
What system?
it was Quest.
Adventure. Oh yeah, quest.
Oh.
And
just-
and it's fine, but it is not meant to go more than like 3 or 4
Yeah.
sessions.
Adventure Quest?
No,
It's
just
Quest.
Quest.
adventure.game is how you look up the look up quest.
I will say, I mean,
Oh wow, you have your character sheet.
well, because it was this book, so
Oh,
I just have
right,
the character
right.
sheet in the back of the book.
That's great. But just big picture wise, do they have any like long range or
Not a ton of super long range, but they have a magic grappling hook,
oh yeah, okay.
and they have, oh, there it is. Death Hand, a magic single shot hand cannon that uses a silent magic charge to shoot a slug.
Yeah.
That they can coat with poison if
Yep.
you want to do that. There is also the fun metal whip thing that
Yeah.
attaches to their belt. And oh yes, it was named the Arumi. I was like, what was that? And Arjun, the assistant.
Oh, right. I think the assistant must be off doing a task.
They at the end of that campaign had, I think, moved on to doing other things.
Right. I think they had been allowed to return to the city and were like getting a new assignment or
Yeah,
something.
something like
yeah.
that. Because yeah. So poisons, dual guitars, metal whip,
Okay.
and death end.
But kind of has to wait for tentacles to be on the ship to do something about it.
Yeah, except for basically the one long range attack they had was the their hand turns into a gun.
Sure.
That shoots death energy.
Yeah. Nice.
Good. It didn't actually do that much, amusingly enough.
Yeah, but that's the game's problem. Not
Yeah.
That's not going to be a problem here. Okay, so I'm going to say Lucky probably declares on 4, and the Kraken's going to declare on 3. So Hector is also on 3, and your mind is higher than the Kraken, so the Kraken has to declare first.
I thought my sense was 4.
Oh, I didn't look at the total. Sorry, I was looking at the left column. Okay. So that means... yeah, okay, Kraken declares first. So the Kraken declares it's going to grapple the ship and try to eat you. So, probably can't multi-action that, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. Then 4 is Lucky. And what's your mind is 3?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's still a tie. Coordination is 5.
5.
It's probably also about where Lucky would be. You know what? What do you want to do? And I'll say what Lucky's doing.
He's gonna...
On a tie, player goes first.
Sweet. Bill is gonna take off.
Okay? With you inside.
Mhm.
So the two of you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay.
And his hands are gonna retract into the suit and come out as cannons.
Okay.
And then he's gonna shoot at the crack.
Okay. Like ship style cannons?
Mhm.
Where it's, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Love it. Lucky declares is gonna try to use the death head cannon. Wait for one of the tentacles to get close and get a clean shot. So I'm gonna try to do that on Lucky's turn. Then it's chainsaw.
I'm gonna take the cigar I've been chomping on, pull out 2 pistols, and kind of put them both up to it, and these runes come down the barrel like catching fire, and I'm just gonna start firing my pistols at the thing as I fly around.
Okay, excellent. And this is to simulate your blaster power,
Yes.
right? The like Citadel blasts.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Kit.
Okay.
Don't say "hear me out" or we have to call Clara. You're gonna owe Clara royalties. Does it say silver tongue on your character sheet?
So here's the thing, Jason, is that when we were talking about this new power and saying, let's keep Kit's teleportation abilities to any conductive surface.
Sure.
You know what's very conductive?
Silver tongues.
Bodies.
Yep.
Can I multi-action to run up and touch this Kraken and teleport to the top of its head and then give it a little zap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Give a little zap.
I give it a little zap.
Little zappy zap.
little zappy zap.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Multi-action. We can do
Amazing.
that.
That's
Sapna.
Mm-hmm.
I, with Sal's permission,
Mm-hmm.
would like to supercharge their armor runes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that works. That totally works. I love that idea. Okay, let's roll some dice.
Power to add a die since a multi-action takes one out.
The Kraken also gets the free multi-action miracle that's it's actually in the book that works really well when you have 12 tentacles. So I'll let you know what happens. I get these
Okay.
for that.
Too bad I didn't decide to multi-action.
We got two
Twice.
We
You
didn't.
always have so many
Sorry, spend a
multi-action dice.
willpower
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I have so many dice.
Don't you
And
have
they're
windows
like-
and stuff in that one?
We have pairs. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Twice, exactly.
But I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right. My best is 3 of a kind.
Oh my god, amazing.
My best is also 3 of a kind.
Okay.
Pair.
My
I'm
best is a
re-rolling.
pair.
I
Yeah,
will say
same.
that I am going to spend a willpower to see multi-action after the fact on my next best set, which will be a pair.
Okay.
That's minus. I can maths sometimes.
Yep.
On occasion.
How much is it to squish? It's just one?
1 willpower per level,
Mhm.
and you can't squish hard dice.
Right.
Just
Squish 'em.
I'm gonna do one little squish. Just one
Good for your
squish.
heart.
So that's 4 of a kind.
Okay. 4 of a kind, I think, is our biggest set so far.
Mhm.
Okay. And you're blasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I
So
just started blasting.
what was that from?
Always
Sunny.
Sunny. Mhm.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's
I've
I
just,
just know
I've
the
heard
meme.
people refer
it's
to
a
it.
it's a very popular meme. The show itself is funny. It also it'll make you like kind of after a couple of episodes be like, what am I doing with my life?
Fair.
So
Okay.
there's just like there's some moments that are like, no man, they're really pushing how far a human could be terrible, aren't they?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the blasters go. You're doing 4 shock and 4 killing with your
4.
blasters, I think, right?
Yeah, I have 4 5s,
Okay.
and that one has penetration 4.
Yeah, that'll do it. 4 shock.
Oh, I forgot. I
4
thought it was
killing.
like 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Oh wait, but he does have some armor. Oh no, your penetration got all the way through. Okay, so that's fine. We had then 3s of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got 3 4s.
I have 3 9s.
I got a pair.
Oh, you're a pair. Okay, so 9s.
So I'm going to use that one to go in, and basically what it looks like in this universe is Sapna sinks to their knees and puts their hands down on the deck of the ship after conferring with Sal to make sure that it's okay. And the runes that are just under the water surface grow up the ribs of the ship.
Mm.
And kind of like it's a little bit like embiggening,
Yeah,
except it also looks like these veins
sure,
are coursing through and start to pulse.
sure.
Veiny ship is
It's
a thought I was looking forward to today.
Sal gets their pump on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
And you could say, if you wanted to go this way, if you look at the masthead, the veins running through this body also glow and start to pulse with this. Like, it's a little bit like when you see somebody on Star, like
yeah.
like who is stereotypically like the steroids thing, and they go,
Mhm.
"Arr!" and you can see their veins pop out of their arms.
Okay, so I'm going to apply 3 armor to Sal, and I'm just going to reduce it by 1 every turn for now. So then, also, just for the record, too, Sal looks like a person carved from wood, from like the waist up, and the rest of them are in the, like, they just meld into the prow of the ship. But they look like a very realistic carving of like just a nude masculine form. And so being more muscular is sort of eerily realistic, carved out of wood.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of backstory in that where Sal was constantly trying on clothes of like, do I like this? Do I like this? Like what is fun? Like what are clothes for? 'Cause, like we're totally unbothered by being nude.
Sure.
Right? Just
You're a figurehead.
and they could leave the ship and have legs and move around, but like it was a fun adventure to be on.
That's so cool.
It was great.
Okay.
Never skipped mass day.
Yes. Got it. Okay. So that was 3 9s. I have 3 4s. Am I next? Okay. So my 3 shock and 3 killing is reduced by 3 armor. So 0. As several tentacles, let's say 4, like wrap around the deck, like come up and over and crunch and like slam into a mast. And you just think like the mass of this tentacle versus this relatively skinny stick of wood sticking up to hold a sail up should have just snapped off, right? But it holds up to this barrage, and the ship is like physically, Sal doesn't make any noise, but you can hear the wood groaning as opposing tentacles are just want to like twist it apart, but it holds together. And that is in large part because of your upgrade.
Yay!
And perfect timing of it as well. It was like as the tentacles were wrapping around and tightening, you're like, getting that power imbued, and then they tighten up and try to rip the ship apart and are not able to. So
Sal, get swole.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so now we're on pairs. What'd you have?
6s.
Got 9s and 8s.
Okay, well let's do yours then.
Okay. I think as the tentacles wrap around right after you cast that, I use that as my moment, and I run up to the closest one and I put my hand on it, and then Kit disappears for a second.
With a kazap.
And then reappears on the head
Okay.
of the Kraken.
How much teleporting have you done up until now? It's been months, like several months.
I think I have practiced.
Okay.
I think I'm being pretty fair here that I don't think I've ever teleported through a human or any body.
A
I
living
think that's
being
new.
covered
Yeah.
in salt water,
Yes.
which is also
Also
notoriously conductive,
Yes.
but maybe could send you off in the wrong direction.
Fair.
And there are a lot of roads to follow
There's
here.
so many tentacles.
Yeah. So I just want a stability check.
Sure.
And like any match.
That's fun. Okay. I got 9s and 8s. I have to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4s.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And 1s. I saw the 1s first. I was like, hilarious.
But yeah, I think there's a moment where you're like in electro time.
Yeah.
And everything's in slow motion, but you have to keep moving, right?
Right,
You can't
right.
like pause.
Can't stop and look for directions.
Yeah. As you arc around this thing and wind up on the head that is like coming up out of the water to like getting ready to roar and like take a chomp on the ship. Yeah.
And then I put my hands down onto this squish, and you see like the hair kind of stand up, and it's longer now, so it goes like out in like a halo,
Sure.
and then down into it.
Okay.
Call
Yeah.
it down lightning.
Now on its head it is
Imagining like a banshee.
yeah, probably a lot less squishy than you were imagining, right?
Okay.
The hide is extremely
That's
tough.
what I was checking
The
for.
like the hood of the like turtle like shell stops right before this like strange like it's almost more of like a bird shaped head, because it has a beak,
Yeah.
it has these beady eyes and
Amazing.
but
Horrifying.
yeah, combination between like a turtle and a I bet if you plucked a bird head it looks a lot like a turtle head. Whatever. That's
I'm thinking now back on bird heads that I've seen.
yeah, like if you pluck a turkey, right? Like
But a bird's head, the beak is connected. Like it's the whole bone. So
oh right. Yeah. It's
And-
more like the turtle.
Uh-huh.
And the turtle is like a
Yeah. I like that.
It's got a more of a hinge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we're doing a lot of hand gestures here tonight. So if you're just listening, don't worry. You didn't really miss anything.
And you
It
missed
doesn't
this.
add anything.
Yeah, so you're on this extremely sturdy creature,
Mhm.
and then you're doing like taser with your 8s, right?
Yeah.
Like down into its head.
Mhm.
Okay. So I do have armor. Does that have penetration on it? Electro kit?
Right now, it just says variable effect.
Oh, that's right, because
Yeah.
we were gonna maybe add stuff to it,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
well, the variable effect one is for your teleportation and other stuff. The first column is
All it
an
says
attack.
is attacks range. Yeah.
Right,
It doesn't
so
have any
then-
tags.
Okay, so then, actually, we should probably change that to. No, you wanted it to be useful at range, not touch, right?
Yes.
Not
Mhm.
require touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the 2 shock and 2 killing is absorbed by its armor.
Fair.
So, just so you know, that's
Damn.
there. Now,
But it was
again,
cool.
It's
you
cool.
can buy upgrades with willpower in the moment, right?
Oh.
So you can buy penetration. Let's say. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2.
How
I'll
much
look
is
it up.
penetration?
I've got it.
It's free.
Willpower uses, improvement,
Let's take out of it.
gift, intuition,
Well, it's the
resist.
improvement, but it depends on how much the extra penetration costs. I think it's 2 points.
Of willpower.
Oh yeah, I was about
that's
to say
much.
penetration. I want to say it only costs one for the skill, right? Like it's
Where's my book? I think it's 2.
penetration is
Oh.
one.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I was gonna say I'll pay either amount. This is like
Well, I just
Nothing.
added an extra penetration to my boom. That's why I know.
compared to my other powers.
Okay.
Like, oh.
So
Fast
if
forward this
you
game, I don't got any fucking willpower.
okay, so in the future we'd want to pay beforehand, but that's
Okay.
fine. No, you can this time though. So if you pay 2 willpower, you'll have 2 penetration,
Okay.
and it will take 2 shock and 2 killing from your electro power.
Yes, I would
Okay.
like to do that.
Okay,
Then I'm just riding the wave.
it's now taken 6 and 6. 6
Okay.
shock and 6 killing. Spoiler: it has more health boxes than you all do.
Damn.
It's
neat.
enormous.
I don't,
You know,
I
we're
don't
just
get
trying.
it.
We're just trying to discourage it. You know, like this doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
And speaking of,
Uh,
I have a pair of 8s now to for my after the fact multi action.
oh right. Okay. Well, let's get in here then.
I would like to use my distortion to create a very loud predator noise.
Well, they don't really have predators.
They don't have natural predators, but we have a cat person.
Okay.
And so, like a tiger roar, like a lion roar kind of
Sure.
just intimidating noise.
Okay.
What if you distortion imitated like an underground earthquake tectonic plates shifting? Because even to a predator, that's a threat.
Oh, yeah, that could be
Ooh,
something.
yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great. That's a much better idea than I had.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Some sort of like environmental danger.
Mhm.
Yes.
You're in danger. Okay.
You're in danger.
You're in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a pair of 8s to do that.
Okay. There is a danger that I have to be aware of. My next action. Then your pair of what?
6s.
6s.
I think it's funny that he shoots the cannons and then the cannonballs just go boop, boop.
Oh, sorry. I forgot my other set is a pair of 7s. So
Okay.
I have to get in there first. 7s. I want to grab one of you. Let's roll a die.
Don't grab me.
Oh no.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, I don't think it's going to ruin your action, but one of the tentacles whips around and like
Mhm.
grabs you out of the air, right? And then what was it you were doing? You're firing your cannons?
Yeah.
Probably into the tentacle that just grabbed you, so that's fine. And that's... Do you have penetration
Nope.
on that power? Do you want to pay a couple
Nope.
willpower?
I just think it's funny.
Okay, so blast into that. It's this extremely tough, rubbery material.
Mhm.
Probably like tears a little bit, but it's just not enough to be considered damage. And you are grappled.
Okay.
Okay. And then did Lucky go?
No.
I don't think I rolled dice for them.
No.
That's probably why not.
It would help.
Yeah.
Auto success.
Wait a minute.
Just to make
Auto
I mean,
success,
Devin
10
did have an
dice.
auto
So
success, which I
six
think is
sixes.
why it did so little damage.
Okay.
But
On,
also
on
had a
the
reload time.
also on the pair of 6 round,
Mhm.
Lucky is firing into one of the tentacles on the ship as well, and has enough penetration to do 2 more damage. We've done 8 and 8.
The fun thing about Lucky's firing is that Lucky doesn't have a gun.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, it just holds up their palm and coalesces like dark energy in it and shoots that.
Amazing.
What?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of necromancy. It's fine.
Oh, just a little.
What's a little necromancy between friends?
Yeah.
Listen, they do
This-
end world
the
stuff,
sweet
like death
caress of
world stuff. It
necromancy.
makes sense.
Yep.
It's fine.
Okay, so then we're back to declaring. Kraken has to declare first. Kraken says, grab, crunch. And we're going to have, I think I actually didn't use their dice properly. So it's going to probably do more than it did last time, just so you
That's
know.
fair.
Maybe it was closing the distance and whatever, you know? I just
Closing the distance.
did not. Yeah.
But will it have a negative for being intimidated by?
Yes, it will.
I was thinking that
Yay.
too.
Then it's Hector.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Wait. Grab, crunch. Grab, crunch the ship?
Oh,
Or...
yeah, it's going to try to rip the ship apart again.
Okay.
It's going to try to crush Hector.
Okay.
And it's going to try to crunch you, as like whip its head around and bite you.
That's so rude.
Yeah. You know, like when you put a treat on the dog's nose.
That's me. I'm the treat.
No, you're a snack.
Yes.
Word.
Yes.
So what I got to
Yeah.
roll to get out of this thing?
You could try like your flying skill. You could try. You have a flying power, right? Something like that.
Bill fly.
Yeah. You could try like a strength roll, like a body thing to, to try to like outmuscle this thing. You could try to fire your cannons into it point blank and not worry about escaping yet. You tell me what you want to do and we'll figure out a way.
He's gonna try to cut out of it
With what?
Bill's attack. Because remember we said it was range that he could do like hand-to-hand combat, like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So now the cannon's retracted now, like
Sword arm.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I love this like mental image of like
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because it's the animatronic kind of technology look thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then,
It's just a robot Captain Jackson.
yeah. And I'm picturing it in the style of the evil robot Bill and Ted. from
Yes.
Bogus Journey. One of the greatest films of all time. I will stand by that. I'll not be taking questions.
I've only seen their excellent journey.
Oh, the Bogus Journey. Mwah. In so many wrong
good.
ways.
Station.
And it definitely sounds like chains are going in and out with it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
rearranging this mechanical device. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I almost said Dr. Lucky. What's that from? Is that something?
Well, there's Dr. Light.
No, I know, but okay, doesn't matter. Lucky is going to I think probably try to assist your escape, right? Because you're like really close, you're like being flung around in the air, and I think they're going to try to like blast you free from Lucky's point of view. So we may just make that an assist to your roll.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes. Then, also I didn't give Sal a turn last time. Sal should also declare before you.
Wow, like,
Sal's not fast. Sal's a fast sailing ship, but not a twitchy responder.
so fair.
Literally a block of wood.
But a
So
hot block of wood.
Yeah.
I'll say Sal is going to disengage from the prow and start trying to like fight off the
Tentacles that are wrapped around.
yeah, like actually like draw a sword, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a weapon, of some kind? Or are they using magic?
They used magic
Oh, that's
mostly,
right.
but I think that they also had a
Oh,
long pole weapon, maybe?
I just remembered
No, that
some
was Wall.
nature magic they were doing, and Sal is going to summon a storm.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, this is very helpful for me.
yeah, inspired by the lightning.
Yeah.
This is our version of call lightning.
Mhm.
So
More.
Sal is basically a druid,
Yeah.
a big wooden druid,
Amazing.
That's cool.
or maybe tempest cleric is a
Mhm.
better way to describe it. But
Oh, no, they made friends with all the animals.
that too, yeah. That was so sweet. Every time Sal made friends with an animal, and this like big wooden like, hello, I will take care of you. It was just like
So cute.
it was really sweet. If we didn't have to fight with the system every week, I would recommend it to everyone. It was a really sweet story anyway, but like,
Despite the system.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, in spite of the system. I really respect what Quest was trying to do, genuinely. But
And it would work really well if you have like a 4-session.
Yeah.
Maybe a 5-session story to tell rather
Mhm.
than a 12-session story.
Yeah.
oh,
makes sense.
thank you, James V. Kill Dr. Lucky is what my brain
board
had
game?
gone to.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. I played that a lot in
By
college.
cheap ass games.
Yes. Cool. Cheap ass games is great.
Mm.
They also made the greatest combat chariot racing game ever made.
Ooh.
Ben Hurt.
They also had the best names.
Yes. Anyway,
Whew.
I think that's all my declarations. We did yours, and then we did
Chainsaw's
Lucky's.
next, correct?
Chainsaw, yes.
Chainsaw takes the 2 pistols in his hand and throws them away and goes "Ah!" and whips out a keg of explosives, puts his cigar to the wick, and flies straight towards the Kraken to blow it up.
Yeah. And there is plenty of room, by the way, to hit like the base where the tentacles are versus the head where Kit is are a significant distance away. That's okay.
That
by
I
the
won't.
way.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I
Thank
want to
you.
make sure because I mean the thing I really want to do is as it roars, fly into its mouth,
Oh, well,
And
that's right
detonate.
where Kit is.
flying me out. Well, if I was inside it,
Do you want to head towards the mouth?
I know I don't want to hurt Kit.
Okay.
And Chainsaw would be conscious enough to do that.
Kit is standing on the thing's head. So,
All right, I'll just blow off a bunch of its tentacles.
okay, sure. Okay. What, Kit?
Now, I feel like I need to apologize because really I was one superpower away from becoming a bastard in this game, Jason. And so now I'm going to start asking for some fuck shit. We put this variable effect on this power.
Yep.
And the reason that we did that is because I liked the idea of it getting all cozy with my biokinesis power.
Yeah. As long as it's not doing harm or preventing harm,
Yes.
then your variable effect can do a lot of stuff.
So, here's my idea. I do not want to cause harm with this.
Okay.
I want to send an electrical signal into a part of a brain their brain that causes an involuntary muscle spasm, essentially eating its order of operations and like letting it drop.
Sure,
Hector,
sure.
et cetera.
Okay.
What would I do for that?
Um,
Would I roll my electric hit?
so first I'm gonna allow I'm gonna force a multi-action.
That's so fair.
So I'm gonna make you roll medicine
Okay.
and then electric hit
Okay.
if the medicine succeeds.
Fantastic.
And I need 6s on the medicine.
Okay. Cool. I'll do that when we're all ready.
Okay. And for Sapna?
I think on this one, there's enough here that these tentacles are so huge and they're everywhere and just like waiting to get boomed off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to turn and just throw out the blast to get the ones like to assist Sal in getting these ones that are attacking the mast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, at this point, there's like several wrapped around the body of the ship. There's a couple like pulling at the masts in opposite direction that should have just snapped off, right? Like, it's
Denied.
it's incredible. Okay, let's roll our dice. Oh, boy.
I have 9s on my medicine check.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I got
It's
Jason.
gonna be fine. Jason, don't worry about it.
Take notes. So many things. Okay, that's fine. And then we're gonna roll for Sal.
Oh, can I ask on this Kraken for the intimidation what the mechanical effect of it was?
Oh, oh yeah. I was reducing his multi-action privileges, so that's a big component of it. Is that okay?
That's great. I
Yeah.
just no, it wasn't like a it was literally like for my information for
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah. I was looking at stuff to reduce. Like I didn't see a way to like he would be less strong, but like making him take fewer actions. I think was essentially the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
How many of a kind do you have, Jason?
5 of a kind.
I can have 5 of a kind.
Okay.
I could do
As long as they're not hard dice.
They're not.
Sal, how did you roll so bad? This Kraken rolled so good.
Womp womp.
Oh, okay. There's a pair here.
Sal's just not used to being swole.
Yeah. I'm too big.
Look how hot I am.
That too. That would be distracting.
Mm.
And lucky. What?
Hmm.
Why are my dice so disrespectful?
Hmm.
I gave you 5 of
I
kind.
spent-
What do you want from us?
1, 2, 3,
A
4,
lot of them.
5, 6. Okay, I rolled 8
I'm
dice.
used to it.
I don't think there's a match here. Pooja, can you please find the match that I'm not seeing? Because there has to be one. It's 8 dice.
No, there doesn't have to be one, Jason.
They're
No, I
different.
proved that like twice.
That's dumb.
No, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10.
Not very lucky.
No.
Much like my dice rolls in that game, actually.
Yeah, I
This is
feel
on
like
brand.
they're channeling you.
Hmm.
Okay, well, that's not going to be good. There's going to be consequence there. The good news is, Lucky works for the land of the dead.
Oh no.
They've eaten them back before.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 5 of a kind, 6 of a kind.
I spent
6
a
of a
lot of
kind.
money.
Okay. What's your 6 of a kind?
6 10s. I
Oh.
have 6 hard
I
dice.
Don't have
Oh, because
tens.
you're doing the
Boar's head, yeah.
Boar's head. Okay. So boar's head goes off. What's the penetration on that?
Penetration 2.
Okay, and you're going for the head or for the body?
Tentacles or the body.
Yeah,
I
like the
guess,
base of the tentacles. Yeah, okay. The crotch, if you will.
yeah. Yes. I am
Okay.
crotch blowing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Blowing it up.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's more armor there than at the head, but most of that's going to get through. It's 6?
6.
Jeez, okay, well,
So
Three.
nasty.
3 of that gets through.
Ooh.
So 3 shock and 3 killing puts us at 11 shock and 11 killing.
Good.
It's tentacles are blown off. There's blood in the water. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Now get out of here, you.
One of the tentacles
You'll
that
get more.
was wrapped around the ship, it also is like disconnected at the base, and it like goes limp, and it's like not squeezing the ship anymore. But it's still draped over the ship as this enormous string of meat that is there. So
I also imagine as it explodes and I'm like holding it,
yeah,
I go flying back, but that'll happen on my next turn.
sure, yeah, no, yeah. That's great. I love that. Okay, Then 6 of a kind.
6 5s.
Okay. What are you doing?
I rolled my medical to locate where I would have to deliver this shock, and then I shocked it in the brain to say,
Yes.
drop. Yeah.
Drop it.
Drop it.
No.
I was joking about that streaming at home the other day. I was playing Baldur's Gate, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized Janet was looking at me out of the corner of my eye. I was like, no, not you. You're fine. She was like, I didn't take anything. I don't, why am I in trouble?
Aw.
Like, for once, I was being good. Oh, and so just now when I said that, I was like, no, Janet's not here.
No, we would know because she'd be like,
Hey, why are you mad?
Barking at you.
I was barking at you, Dad. Okay, so you
Yeah.
zap into this thing with 6.
6 5s. Yeah.
Okay, I only have 2 armor in my head, so that's 4 that's going to get through.
well, it's
But
not,
it's not
damage.
damage.
Oh, it's not damage.
It's
That's
just
right.
it's like an impulse to like
That's
relax
right.
the muscles
That's
for a
right.
second.
I did
Yeah.
not put other
Mhm.
people's pencils in my mouth.
Mhm.
Okay. Such a
You look at you
instinct.
own it.
So
gotta
many
take
little
that one
joke
home.
fragments that
Yeah.
just happened, and
Yeah, I probably shouldn't put that back in the pencil thing. I'll just take it with me.
it's yours now.
It's such a habit to like
Mhm.
No,
chew
I
on the
get
end
it.
of it. Okay. Yeah, that is a compelling. I'm gonna do a stability check.
Yeah.
What's
If
your
it also didn't want to bite me now, I'd be good with that.
what's your total like power dice like or
I have 5 dice in telekit,
yeah
electrokit.
yeah okay. So I'm gonna. You know what? Let's go with the set that you rolled 6 of a kind.
Okay.
That seems better. So I need 6s or better.
Or better. Okay, that makes sense.
No. I think I have to beat it. Because the other one is like if you meet it, then it breaks it
Mhm.
down. Like I have to get 7s or better. What's that? That's a 6. That's a 6. That's 2 6s and 2 3s. It's like 2 9s,
Mm.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it's the same thing.
You did your best.
But I'm not the best.
Yeah. Nope.
That's me.
Yeah, you just blast through this thing's head. Not literally, but you
Yeah.
know, deliver this incredible
Blast
shock.
into. Mhm.
And there is this shiver and convulsion as like the tentacles. I'm picturing this like, you know the party favor that you blow into and it unrolls? I'm,
Yeah.
I'm picturing all the tentacles going, like,
Funny.
just straightening out. You know,
Yeah.
like,
I love that.
they do. They unroll. They fling Hector into the sky.
got you.
As you're tumbling, and you know, Bill is like getting control of the flight. Like, wait. And the ship is essentially released right now. And yeah, I think that makes the most sense for that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Then what did you have?
I had 3 of a kind. Or wait, no, I'll go on the 4 of a kind round. Then.
Oh, okay. I had 5 of a kind, but I think that has to
Kill
interrupt
one.
my action. That is just gonna gobble my set. Like there's no way. Yeah. No, there's no way I have
Yay.
a squeeze action when I was just forced to drop everything.
Oh, yeah.
So yep, that interrupts my action. 4s of a kind.
I'll
3.
go on 4s. 3 5s to Sonic Boom, the tentacles that are in range of me, with 3 penetration.
Okay,
Woo!
Nice.
that is
Sonic
enough.
boom.
What? How much?
3
4
penetration and 3
3 of a kind. Okay, so that's 3 shock and 3 killing. Okay, between being forced to release everything and now having taken essentially 28 damage, it is in retreat. So it is dropped.
So fair.
It's very simple, delicious snack that it was going to grab on the go, and is leaving several tentacles lighter
Dinner.
that are just floating. And hey, I mean, who doesn't like calamari? So
Does it?
that I think that's it. Like, unless you're gonna chase the thing, it is trying to leave.
Yeah.
And as Sal is like using the staff to summon the swirling cloud of like lightning, like, are we killing it?
So fun.
I mean, it's running away.
I think we'll include the little bit of lore here in that Lucky and Sal know, like, it is their duty to kill this thing. Like, they do, in fact, because it'll, like, wreck some town or something. And if it gets too old, it will implode into a portal to the world, land of the dead.
What?
So I think what happens is we have maybe the four of you like, phew, okay, it's leaving. And then Sal and Lucky are like, oh, bam! Just like,
Still going.
you know,
Kit was about to
obliterating
be like,
it.
shit, and try to leave, but then they keep fighting, and they're like, don't get off of it? Okay.
But I think we could just say they kill it.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're explaining, like, yeah, this thing, like, when they get this old, it's extremely dangerous. And anyone who finds one, if they're able to stop it, they're sort of obligated to. Like, one of those, like, if you see a ship in trouble, you're obligated to help them. This is like that. That if you have the ability to stop it, you should. They probably couldn't have done it by themselves if they'd been caught out here. But, you know, with you guys helping, they are able to actually kill this thing. However, most of it they're supposed to just, like, let it sink and let it sort of return to the ocean. So, but, you know, one good tentacle for dinner is, you know,
It's a lot of food.
yeah,
That's some good taco.
nothing wrong with that. So, that is your afternoon, I think.
Come back down. These big parrot wings, I've decided.
Sure.
I'm gonna come down and like they pulled back and just turned back into this cape.
Okay. Oh, I see. Your cape turned into wings.
Yes.
And then, nice. I love that. That's really cool.
So good.
And then the two guns that I threw away are now back in my belt.
Yep. Yeah, they've returned.
I think it was very awkward. I think that I like had to conduct along the water, and then I was just kind of on the side, like, can someone help me out?
Hector could fly down and get you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to Kit? And then, oh.
Hey.
Ah, not used to that yet.
Although I do think Kit, more than anyone, is covered in, like, blood and guts.
We got some viscera.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's worth noting.
You have a shower or a bath on?
What now?
Something.
Oh, I
to
have
get
a bathtub,
clean.
yeah.
Do you mind if I make it disgusting?
Well, I mean, if you want some help, it doesn't have to be that disgusting.
Um.
I don't think I'm off brand here, am I? No.
Kit
Not
jokes
even a
are
little.
Kento
in
raises
real
his
time.
eyebrows and takes a puff of his cigar.
What?
I just think there's might be parts that are hard to reach, is all.
I'm.
They're playing it very cool.
They're
clearly-
so cool.
Just so you know, they are coming on to you.
No, yeah, I get it. Kit understands.
Okay, great.
I am. That's. Thank you. I am in a relationship, but
That seems to be like, why are you like, okay?
where is it?
It's in my cabin. That's fine. Sorry, I made you uncomfortable.
No.
Enjoy.
Fuck. Okay. Goodbye. Kit is my one character that cannot fucking handle themselves. Everyone else is like, how are you? I get so much joy out of Kit just not knowing what to do with themselves.
So yeah, you get in there, and there's this like clawfoot tub that was sort of like wandering around one corner of the room, and then when you come in, it like scoots back under the tap. Like, whoop. I was here.
I won't tell.
I wasn't doing anything.
What were you doing? You drop it.
So good.
I think Hector lands and Bill, or after that kind of conversation, Bill opens up and Hector gets out.
Oh yeah, yeah, and there's just this like dummy standing next to you,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah, but
Yeah. No.
and I think Sal is suddenly very interested in Bill, you know, and it's like looking at him, and Bill's like, Bill moves in a much more human way than Sal does.
Mhm.
Sal is not like wooden, to be totally crass. He's not. They're not that stiff, but they're alien, right? And
Like
Bill,
more rigid.
yeah, Bill is more human, right?
Mhm.
So it's they're sort of sniffing each other's butts or whatever, and like normal people do.
Like normal people.
Yeah.
Lucky's done it.
Yep. You know. So, what do we want to have on the ship here? What's happening?
Calamari.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get cooking.
Mhm.
I think Sal and Lucky get to work, and Sal indicates like they have a lot of cooking experience, right? And they like cooking. They can't really taste things the way that you all do, but they have recipes and things that they follow. And then in the middle of cooking, Sal like adds some spices and some salt and is doing something, and then like takes a double pinch of whatever is in the pot just right out of the sizzling pot with their bare wooden fingers and rubs it up and down their forearm and goes, yeah. Okay, I think you're gonna like this. This is good. So,
I'm looking forward to this.
so you have this massive calamari feast, calamari steaks, really. And anything we should establish in that scene?
There's somebody when it gets to nighttime.
Yeah, I mean it's sundown by the time we got everything,
Yeah.
most of it cleaned up, and some of it ready, fit to eat.
Because I think Hector is stargazing because some of his land nav stuff like goes by the stars. So
Sure.
he's trying to just like figure out like, are the stars the same? Like,
Yeah. The stars are different,
mhm.
right? But in the way that you're, if you can read Spanish, you can follow Italian,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's enough that you're like, well, they're stars, right? And
Mhm.
then like there's a pattern there's and like
Mhm.
and it kind of seems like it's summer right now, and that would mean, and fortunately it's still like sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and like that feels familiar, like and the gravity is very familiar. You've been to planets with different gravity, right? It feels like Earth's gravity, like it's
Just, the 3 minutes kind of cancel each other.
oh, the 3 moons. Yeah. I wanted like 17 and they talked me down. It was the whole thing. Like, I wanted a bunch and I wasn't allowed to have it. So that we agreed to 3.
Compromise.
Yeah, it's cool. So I was like, what if there's always a moon up? You can have that with 3.
Yeah, but if you only have 3, then the moons can't always be kissing. So I get it.
Thank you. Kissing
It was
moons.
just, if we weren't like a seafaring game with 17 moons.
Look, the wild tides, that's a thing. I wish we'd played any other game system.
Same.
A fucking good story we told. Oh well. All right. So that evening carries on. Sal is able to sail through the night with like they don't really sleep. Weird, right? Somebody that doesn't sleep. Like
Oh,
a
he's fucking
sapient
hang.
being.
Freaky.
Yeah. So strange.
How is the foods like the seasoning?
That's incredible. Yeah, like Master Chef prepared this is what it seems like. Manages to cook it without it getting like tough and rubbery. Like the cooking techniques and the spices and everything. It's spicy as fuck. So I think that was established for Sal and Lucky, right? Like both like really spicy food. So it's that, but it's delicious as well. So Or do you want me to roll for it?
No, that's
Roll
that's,
for cooking?
No, I love it.
Mm,
Okay.
One
They
time,
would
I
have
don't-
like 7 wiggle dice in it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Speaking of wiggle dice, I feel like if Lucky got turned down, they would try, like, they would
They'd make the rounds.
test the waters to see, like, who's open to this. So, who else has Wandering Eye, if any?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Listen,
hmm
sleeping with a cat person, that's not bad.
You don't know what's going to
Not a bad
happen.
night.
Or it's a weird night and you just fought for your life and it's not happening. Like, that's
Or
okay.
you just need to like reaffirm life.
Yeah.
Trying to help Lucky get lucky.
hmm Yeah, I'm gonna be hanging out on the deck of the ship, really enjoying this whole thing.
hmm
Enjoying the dinner, and if Lucky comes along and starts pushing it,
You know what? I think Lucky would approach it this way because you've got all the like the guns and everything, and I think they would start with this. So you're on the deck of the ship afterwards, like everyone like the dishes did themselves, sort of like Beauty and the Beast style,
with a fucking song.
Yeah. Lucky says, "So you're pretty handy with those pistols today. Are you comfortable with swords at all?"
A little bit. Mostly I shoot things and blow things up.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm not able to practice with Sal much, and it'd just be nice to have someone to, stretch out a little bit, like get some practice in. But if you're not a sword fighter, then that's.
I mean, give me a sword, let's see what happens.
And like out of nowhere, like 2 rapiers, or the rapier and a guitar, right? Of,
Right.
Like you get the rapier, and then Lucky has 2 cutter, what?
Guitars.
Guitar, and I think it just tells you to be careful. It's like the extent of their, like don't do something stupid, and yeah, you have some back and forth.
Ding, ding,
Now,
ding,
does Chainsaw have any sword fighting experience?
I have melee weapon improvised, 6
You
dice and a wiggle
can't
die.
Tell me that Chainsaw didn't go to theater camp at some point. Like, have you met him?
Right. So, for the
Seriously.
purpose of this, I'm going to downgrade your wiggle die to a regular die.
Okay.
And so you roll 7 dice, and I'm going to roll 7 dice, and I just want to see who comes out on top.
Oh.
Meow.
What's sexier than ship sword fight? Nothing.
Oh boy.
Look, I will turn this game into Thirsty Sword Lesbians, or we're going home.
Uh-oh.
All right, I got 5s.
I got 3 1s.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So faster, but not as good.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Interesting.
Mm.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm picturing this scene where like you kind of like get in the first hit, and then she just outmaneuver. They outmaneuver you.
Right.
Right,
And it's
like-
like ching, 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 blade to the neck. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
looks like you
It
got
gets
me.
the tip of the sword right under your chin and like lifts your chin up a little bit, as like.
And I'm like, oh, let me finish. Oh, looks like you got me.
Okay, we get fade to black on that. I think we all know what's happening there. Look, I'm taking my jacket off for unrelated reasons.
Cold in here until about 3 minutes ago.
That's gotten steamy.
Oh my god.
It is a funny coincidence. All right, so in the morning you sail on, and before noon, you can see a strange phenomena in the water. Any like those of you who can fly, does anyone want to go up to take a look, or?
Sure.
I think I'm actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're
Um,
boring you.
I know, right? I think that I'm actually just exploring more of the ruins on the ship, so I
Oh, yeah.
be like below decks at that point.
Sure. Okay.
Hector, oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I want to know if you're both flying up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to take a look. Okay. Okay. So you go up. As you get enough elevation, you can see. At first, you think it looks like a whirlpool, right? Like some sort of like drain,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize it's not that at all. You can get a lot closer really quickly because you can fly very fast, and right away you realize it's maybe 200 yards diameter. Just like if you just took a cookie cutter out of the ocean, just pulled this up. The water is not flowing down into it like a waterfall or something. It's just standing there with this perfect little round column cut out of the ocean. And down at the bottom, you can see the ocean floor where there's like a great big rock that is in the exposed part and goes through the wall of water into the ocean. But you can also see the wreckage of a village, right? There are like houses that are crushed, and you don't really see anyone moving around, but that's what it looks like. And the ship is slowly catching up as well, but the two of you can go and take a look or do whatever you want.
We can go do some reconnaissance.
All right. Let's maybe we grab everybody else. I think we've seen what we need to see.
Yeah, let's go back to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was down for buddy cop investigation.
Me too.
I know, I'm just trying to be smart.
So I want to look at these runes a little bit. What do you want to know about them?
I actually feel really strongly about attempting to find a way to excise the property of writing from Sal.
Okay. Let's do a let's see, do you have a sensory power on your technology thing? Oh yeah, because it's always on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll that.
Okay.
Let me look at that power real quick. That's tech support?
Yeah. And it's got variable effect on it. So.
Yeah, that makes total sense. However, what I'm gonna do here is downgrade your wiggle die to a regular die. Because we're fixing magic shit.
The technical term.
Yeah.
I think there's an open up of the brain chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was like, once again, my dice are trolly. I got a very 8s though.
Okay. 8s are great. What happens in the brain chat while we're investigating it?
Hector basically just says, are we supposed to have some sort of like intuition of what we're supposed to fix?
I honestly have no idea.
I thought we got a device.
You do have a little scanner device, yeah. Once you
Yeah,
get
but-
close enough, you should be able to use it.
All that they said was get in and fix it. So I don't know.
The interstitial was not more helpful than that.
Yeah.
That's
why
the
Hector's,
they're
like, asking
parroting
it
back
out
what
loud. It's like-
interstitial said.
right.
Yeah.
Hector's like, did I miss something that somebody was?
I honestly I don't know if they know how to fix it.
I don't think they even know what the actual issue is.
Yeah. Like if you told somebody just fix your appendicitis,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, what? How do I do that? It's similar to that. So your 8s show you that the trademark, so to speak, is not part of the spell at all, and you could obliterate it without damaging the spell. You would have to damage the gunnel, like literally, like cut away that part of the ship physically, and then the label would go away, and they could probably repair the ship eventually. But you would need to consult Sal because they'll have to cut away part of their body to get rid of that.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll let them know.
now it's both their body and a traditional ship, so it can be repaired. I don't want to give the wrong impression. They're not gonna bleed, but
Since it's
All these
technically a
splitters.
body, can I rebuild it?
no, I love that kind of question. we'll find out.
Oh.
So let's have that conversation with Sal. All right. What do you want to do?
Not to toot my own horn, but
You have horns?
metaphorical horns.
Oh.
But your mages are terrible.
Tell me about it.
And that unwanted tattoo is in no way, shape, or form part of what makes you you.
Oh, you mean we could just get rid of it?
Yes.
That's great. How do I remove it?
Unfortunately, you'd have to scour it.
What do you mean? Are you like standing on the deck talking to Sal at this point? Because also at any point, anywhere on the ship, you can thank Sal, and Sal can communicate with you telepathically.
I kind of like the idea that it's like,
Or no. I think Sal actually speaks out loud, but from anywhere, even though Sal is the prow of the ship.
I like the idea that they were like, what you doing down there?
Oh, yeah. Like,
What
do
you looking
you like what you see?
Like, well,
But with no innuendo, because that wasn't Sal.
Yeah.
Sal was not sexual at all.
this portion would have to be removed.
Aha. And so you're below decks? All right. You hear stomping on the deck above you. And then a crunch and splintering sounds.
Is everything okay?
Fine.
Sounded like splinters.
Can you give me a hand?
Yes.
And for the camera, we got Sal stomping across the deck and just booting the edge of the ship over and over until the gunnel split and is like peeling off beams, like throwing them in the water, just
They're so cool.
ripping parts of the ship away. Anything that has this like emblazoned, and as soon as they start breaking it, it shows to the naked eye of like, Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company now in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
As Sal just like rips chunks of wood off the side of the ship. Just right, where you would like the gunnel, where you would like look over or barf or whatever, like the side of the ship. So it's just tearing off the like handrail section right there. So
Yeah. And I will take out my cudgel and batting practice.
yeah. It's it's reminding me of the energy Karlak gives when you take out those paladins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just starts fucking up the tavern.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm never going back. Like, oh, it's so good. It gives me chills every time. So, anyway, yeah, there's a big chunk missing from the side of the ship.
Yeah.
When you guys get
Yeah,
back
Kit
from
is
flying
like
around.
walking the deck and is like, everything okay?
You might need to explain to Kit because Sal's busy.
Yeah.
There was that tattoo.
Oh. And that's okay?
Apparently.
Cool. Ouch.
Like the whole spell, they said. God damn, fucking, like just like cussing like a sailor, ripping into the side of the ship, and I think it doesn't take long to get through it. It's like, a couple like 3 feet, worth of gunnel that just splinters and comes off, and Sal is just left like doesn't really need to breathe, but it looks better. So
Yeah. Feels good.
yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have other pieces to put there?
I can fix it when we get into port.
Cool. Did that hurt?
A little,
Okay.
but worth it.
Now
You
Kit
know?
is doing like the weird eye contact thing that Lucky did to
Yeah.
them.
And I think Sal doesn't pick up on it at first, and then
Yeah.
like and Sal has weird eye contact because they don't understand like being human
Yeah.
fully. Like
Yeah. Listen,
they're a
Sal,
person,
we've
but
all
not a
been there.
human. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Hmm.
What? Should I keep? I think yeah. They just have like, should I keep holding eye contact? I've been told not to.
I don't care. Do you mind if I read you? That sounds weird. But
In what way? In
like-
what way read me? I don't care if it's weird.
okay. It's I can usually like tell what's going on inside people, and I want to see if I could do the same thing with you.
Okay.
Yes. Can I MRI machine Sal?
Let's roll it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bump any wiggle dice down.
Sure. Oh, I don't have any. No, I have 2 in it now, so I have.
So those are
Normally.
regular dice now.
So
for
I
this
have
roll.
1 regular die or
No. That's 2.
1 wiggle die. I mean,
2
yeah.
wiggle dice.
Yes.
Turn into 2 regular dice.
Amazing. Okay,
Yep.
so normally I have 7 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Anyone else device tell them to get up and move around
Mhm.
before the end of the top of the hour? Yeah.
Just 6s.
6s are fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a distinct. There's a little bit of vertigo where you start scanning Sal and then realize like this is only a small part of Sal's body, you know, and your awareness like zooms way out of like, oh, this person is enormous. Their entire personhood, like it encompasses the ship, right? So, however, that is an organic system in a way. And, you know, like we can see some of the cracks that had developed during the fight with the Kraken. Cracks and stuff have been repaired, right? Like in the same way that like cut skin can repair itself. So that part is fixable. Something like a huge chunk missing, Sal needed to like go to port and like
You gotta do a skin
buy
graft.
some planks and like graft something on there because it wouldn't just grow back.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking at here is essentially an organic system, not with blood and veins and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. And also while you're scanning this, your power and your tech power is always on, right? You two are gonna have a little mind meld moment, if that's okay. Yes? Okay. That was so awkward and hard to watch.
It
And
was
wonderful.
right first.
First try.
And then we both went.
They did a little pinky promise thing, y'all, and it worked the first time. Great, and looked very cool.
Yes.
No notes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No need to review the tape. So I'm never gonna get that out of my mind, and I love it. So anyway, the two of you are both sort of hearing and seeing both channels right now because Sal is in both worlds. Sal is a device, and Sal is a living being, right? In a way that Bill is not a living being, right? Is like a very high functioning device and almost a person, but not a living being, right? Even if Bill becomes a person, he won't be a living being, right? He'll be a machine person. Sal is a living being and a device. And the two of you are having a little like, what we're seeing through each other's eyes, like at the same time, there's some like superposition, like superimposed, sorry, not superposition, it's quantum. It's like superimposed vision. And if you wanted to do something about it, I would probably have the two of you roll together.
Yes.
If that's
I wasn't
fine.
going to do anything until you did this, but this is too gay.
Okay.
Kit looks over at Sapna and says, I think we can fix this.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I need, and I do want you two to decide this. One of you is the primary roller, and one of you is rolling an assist.
Okay.
So, who is fixing the ship, and who is assisting?
What are we rolling?
Well, either biokinetics or
Mhm.
your tech whiz power, tech support.
Roll for gay.
Gay. What's our gay stat?
10 dice.
Who has more dice than gay?
No. That would definitely be Kit.
Just a little queer. Here's the thing: is I could see the argument being made that like Kit's power would be primary because it's a system, but the runes seem to be what gives Sal life. So I wonder if the understanding of that is what would like you kind of like supercharge that life in order to heal it, and I'm just coming in with the understanding of the system to help. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay,
I was
so
completely ready to be like, it's a body, it's yours.
No. I like it being like there's a difference between like body and soul weirdly in this world,
Okay,
and
yeah.
runes seem to be very like that seems to be like the soul of it. So addressing that feels important. Yeah,
okay, so Kit is
I'm
assisting,
assisting.
and that's what's the surgery term, like primary and assisting,
Oh
or
God, yeah, assisting I think is the word.
something
for
like
it.
that.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Kit is assisting the shipping.
Yes, shipping assistant. Yeah.
Shipping assistant.
All right, Kit, you go ahead and roll your power,
Okay.
and I need you to get.
Am I wiggling now?
Yeah, you can use
Okay.
your regular dice, and pairs of 6s and better will add dice to Sapna's roll.
Amazing.
Woohoo.
Well,
I mean, I got 2 9s.
Okay.
Well, 3 9s according to willpower. Wiggle dice. I mean.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I got above 6s. So would
Okay.
that only add 1 die?
No, that's 2 dice.
2 dice.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Three of a kind is 2 dice.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so add 2 regular dice to your tech support.
come back here, you. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 8s.
Okay, that's incredible. Now, did either of your powers require willpower?
Mine. I gotta take some out.
Yes.
Okay, so you had to pay 3,
Mhm.
and you have to pay 4.
4. Oh,
Oh,
wait.
That's awesome.
10 minus 4
I mean-
is not 4. There we go.
That's great. I was like, I feel like this should cost willpower. Never mind, it did.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
That was
Just because you're doing something so strange and weird, but like, that's fine. It's gay enough. Okay. So yeah, the two of you, adjusting and sort of working together. And for those of you, you two are like returning to the deck and seeing them kind of look over this place that Sal is like has like shards of wood in their hands, like
Thanks for what happened while we were away.
Do you mind if I narrate something even more gay?
Please.
Yeah.
That Sapna goes out to like put their hands on the side of the like around where the wound is, basically. And Kit comes over and like helps guide where their hands are, like hands on top of hands.
Like
Oh.
Like ship ghost.
like in Ghost. Yeah, with the pottery scene. Yes. Sweater's coming off
If
next.
you're okay with it.
this. Yes, I'm okay with it.
Perfect.
I
Perfect.
was like, how can I make this gayer?
Done.
My lamb.
Maybe we'll have to come back to the cast-offs world now. Okay, so I think that we see the ship start to grow back and knit back together with fresh planking and all the material that needs to go in there. It shows up as like, oh, this is a freshly cut plank, and then it like becomes weathered and matches the rest of the ship. The gunnel grows back across the top, and eventually there's this patch of ship. You watch it like reintegrate, and just you would never know something was missing. And the two of you come out of this fugue state, like hands on top of hands and just all in each other's space.
Yeah.
Wow. That was amazing. Yeah. I've never. Wow. It doesn't feel like that when I healed Bill.
No, that was wow.
It's good for both of you then.
What? Hi, welcome back.
Oh, hey.
And Sal says, yes, thank you. I feel much better.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like temporarily just so overcome by like the emotion that they've forgotten to be awkward about things. Like even the touch is just like, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
So we found the hole in the ocean.
What's it look like?
A hole in the
A hole in the ocean
Wild.
and a destroyed village.
Yeah.
That's good.
You want to go take a look?
Yeah, let's go.
And I think that's the perfect place to game down.
Mm-hmm.
I love this show. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been episode 26 of Pinnacles here on happyjacksrpg. You get to watch this live or later. Those are your only two options, and we couldn't do it live without our chat mods. I say that every week, and it's still true. So here we are, James V and all the mods. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's fun to do this live. It's much more fun. So we love having chat. We love getting to do this. Thank you for making that possible. Our Patreons also make it possible so we don't have to do annoying ads and stuff. So if you can join in there, there are many levels that fit every budget, hopefully. Totally understand if it doesn't work for you, but if you can, if you've got a few bucks, it all goes to like making the studio better.
But have you considered that maybe New Year's resolutions aren't the answer?
There's that too. And
I keep hearing.
oh God, yeah, I forgot about that one. The what was I gonna say? Totally lost my train of thought.
That's
That's
my
fine.
fault.
Just that the Nerding Out series is
Oh,
on there
yeah.
at the D8 level. I think it's $5 a month. And honestly, we're real fucking funny. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like,
And they just recorded a Star Wars episode.
why I didn't get to go.
Neither did I.
That's all right. They had actual experts like Kai and people like talking about Star Wars. I'm a fan. Kai is an expert.
Right.
I look forward to listening to that one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like be there and be like, what else
and
do you have
Kai
to say,
need
Kai?
do a Fallout episode.
Oh
is
my
what it
God!
is.
Yes. Are you also an expert?
Yes.
I need
Yes.
this. I need this in my life.
Okay.
Ooh, baby.
I need you to listen
Join
to
the
Vault
Patreon.
818. Just commit to listening to like 140 hours of what's 12 times 4? No one could do that.
32.
Yeah.
48.
Wow. Yeah. So for just listen to 48
I
hours.
graduated from school 1 year. No, I'm kidding.
Anyway, we're ad free and independent because of Patreon, and there's a lot of good stuff on there. There's extra content, and also just like feels good. So thank you for that. Pooja, what do you have to say for yourself? How dare you?
I just like torturing Jason. What can I say?
We played in a lot of games together.
We have. And this was so great. Thank you so much for bringing us back to the world of cast-offs. I am Pooja, and you can find me on the internet as Forgotten Saves, all the socials. I'm mostly posting pictures of my cats and ranting and raving about books. If you want to hear me play more TTRPGs, you can find me on the Happy Jacks back catalog, 12-Sided Stories back catalog, and currently on Queen's Court Games as we head into this finale of Mekong the next few weeks, our Southeast Asian setting for a beam saber actual play, mech space opera, so much drama, and also gay.
Mm.
Who would we be? Who would we be? I'm Sarah. I am also gay, but also Kit and Caduceus. And online in places, arguably, under Sarah is Coffee, except for Instagram where it's Sarah_is coffee. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting at home being a lump. So don't expect anything. Just look at the internet.
Hi, my name is Eli, and I guess y'all know about my social media since I'm in another season of the game. And please tell your friends about the show.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Cool. I'm Enge. I play Chainsaw the Dwarf Sapper. And
Good.
you can find me at on the internet. It's in the notes.
It is. It is. The show notes, however you're watching this, it's there.
Yep.
The notes are there. And I'm Jason.
It's true.
I've-
I've seen it.
I'm the GM of this show. I stream on my channel, twitch.tv/It's Probably Okay. On Wednesdays, We Were Death, and every other day that I stream there. So I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. I just started playing Enshrouded, the new survival game that came out. So if you're sick of watching people play Pal World, there are alternatives. So no shade on Power. I don't know anything about Pal World. It's not my vibe. That's all.
Fuck power.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first I've ever heard of it, but fuck it.
Yeah. Watch my show instead. No, it's whatever. So yeah, there's that. That's pretty much what I got going on. So yeah, thanks everybody. Oh, we will be off next week if you are listening live or recently. February 11th, we will be not here, and then we will be back on the 18th. So
Gotta wait that long for gay.
Yep. Worth the wait, I promise. So thank you for joining us. We will be back next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.